Hi. Hello, this is the Ocean Swagger, and I'll wait just a little bit for people to start coming in. I'm a little bit late. I hit a snag tonight. They did not like my something or other in my description, I guess. So I had to redo it, but I'm here. And we'll just wait a minute for people to start filing in. If they can get the note, and if they can't get the note, then bump people if you're in discussion with them and tell them, hey, by the way, hey, hi, Micah, how you doing? Hi, Renee, how you doing? How's life? Woo! Well, I'm finally unlimited, and so now I can go as late as I can stay. Well, actually, we have to divide it into 4-hour blocks, so just so you know. At the end of 4 hours, I will have to, if we go longer than that, I'll have to cut it and then come back because they only allow me to do 4 hours. But you guys could maybe fill that. I don't know, you guys, what you're up to tonight. But let's see what you got. Hello, Richard. How are you doing? Welcome. I'm great. Oh, I'm absolutely fantastic. I'm just a little yawny because I didn't get my nap. But I'm sure what you have to say will wake me up. And my tea is beeping, so I'm going to have to get up and get it. So while you all are filing in and saying hello to each other, I'm going to go get my tea and I will be right back. Okay? I'm going to, yeah, I'll go get my tea and come back so that it doesn't keep beeping all the time. Be right back. So professional. Okay. Well, at least now I have some kind of liquid, which I find I really need doing these. You really need to make sure you have some liquid. Whoa. Oops, no, this is all out of alignment. Okay, we're back. Hey, Marie. What? All women? No. Unless you count. Not at all. Oh gosh, I shouldn't be yawning like that. But I didn't get my nap. No, we got men folk here. Are you ready? Get yourself ready to come on, Mary. Okay. Now, let me see. Here it is. Okay. It's a kilt, not a dress. Well, Mike is here too. Yeah. We got a couple guys. We'll wait a little bit, but Maria, whenever you get ready, click the link. You know the procedure. Oh, here she is already. Here she is. And she is going to tell us all about the wee folk of Africa. And there you are. You are now part of the scheme. Let's see how. Yeah, okay. So you're on, Mary. Don't forget to close your or mute your YouTube, by the way, and it'll be a lot smoother. We can't hear you yet. Did you mute yourself? Did you?
Can you wait? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can now.
Yes, I can hear myself. Yes, I can hear myself.
Okay, do you have your YouTube open?
Yes, I've got my YouTube open on my laptop.
Okay, well, you need to mute your YouTube and then you won't hear yourself echo.
How do I do that?
Usually there is, when you mouse over it, there's usually a little thing that looks like a speaker. And when you click it, it will bring up a slider bar that will allow you to turn it down all the way. It's usually right at the bottom of the picture. But we can hear you. I'm not hearing an echo right now, but if that's bothering you, that's how you fix it. And then your camera maybe could be up just a little higher so we can see the rest of your head. You're cutting off part of your head right now. There you go. Much better. We want to be able to see ya. You look good. There you go. You look great. Oh, now we can't hear you again. You've muted yourself or something. Whoa, I can't unmute you. Okay, you have to unmute yourself. There you go. Now talk. Say something.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. How you doing? You still hearing yourself?
I can hear myself and I can hear you. Cool, perfect.
Okay, well then just if it's not bothering you, we can't hear an echo, so just go ahead and roll, okay? Go ahead and tell us. Just talk,
Okay.
sweetie.
Okay. The little people, I cannot say the name of it because when you say it, you summon it. Okay, you know which one
Whoa.
I'm talking about?
Can you type it in? The one that Duke mentioned on one of the
Yes. Yes.
she is talking about doggone, and I don't know how to now I don't want to say it, and I don't know how to spell that. But can you spell it out for us at some point? You can just say the little people of Africa or something. Just call them that for now. We'll get the name.
Um. Yes. Yes. It's with a T and a O, a K and a O, Loshe.
Okay, let me see if I can get this right. A T, an O,
A K.
a K, and an O. And then what after the other O?
A K and a O, Loshe.
L O S
S S
H
H E.
E. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. We got it in chat now. So now we know what we're talking about. Yes, I typed it. Hopefully that is correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Because there were some people inquiring about that one and
Right. How to deal with it.
how to fight them, because some people have been having trouble with it. They've been cursed. So of course now they come directly from hell,
Ah.
and you see they are summoned by the sangomas and by the witches and witch doctors to harm other people. So what happens is that they create a lot of havoc. They make people very ill. And then after what happens is that they also violate women. And my cat, she wants my attention.
Oh. Hey, Denali. Hey, Ascension Within. Yeah, Nessie is here. Let me see. Really quick call out to everybody. Of course, we've got Marie, which is great because we're basing the show on what she has to say. So it's a good thing she showed up. Annie is okay because she's here. Nessie Monster is here, and she's not a monster. I don't know why. No. Linda Bennett and the YT Chris, YTFP Chris, Ascension Within. Let's see, is that it for now? Yeah, that's it for now. So, hi guys, Annie Lane. Annie Lane. Oh, and here comes Cookie. It is a Zulu spirit. Ah, I gotcha. Okay. Just got over a massive brain ache of 3 days. Oh, that's not good. Hmm. Who's Daniela? Is she in here? Oh, Denali. Is Daniela in here somewhere? Hi, Ruger Ridge. Okay. Oh, formerly Truth. Now you're Ascension. That's cool. Okay, Truth.
Okay.
Ruger baby. Why don't you tell us more, Murray?
Okay, I was just letting you finish. The thing is, there was somebody calling me that needed advice and help because they are helping somebody who has been cursed. This person was communicating with somebody and sending them photos of themselves, and they didn't realize that this person, for some reason, was actually using those photos to curse them. That's
Mm-hmm.
what they do. It's black magic, it's voodoo. But for us, Savia, we don't call it black magic or voodoo. We just call it magic because it's part of the culture here. And around every corner, we've got a witch doctor here or a witch. Not in the sense like you guys think that it's like in the movies. It's just ordinary people. And so, of course, you have to be so careful. Um, Nail clippings, your hair, your clothing, anything of personal of yourself, you don't leave it out where any person can get access to it because that's what they use. And these little things, it there isn't enough information. I really went in deep looking for info, and it's very difficult. People don't want to talk about it because they're also afraid, and they are ugly. They are seriously ugly little things. They are small and People over here, they sleep with bricks under their beds. And I've seen it. It seems so peculiar. At the time when you see it, you think, why did they put bricks under bed? Why are the beds so high? They're almost like waist high, the bed. And it didn't click. And then
Oh,
after,
they couldn't reach
yes, because that way they can't reach them.
while you're
They like put,
asleep.
we've got the mortar bricks of about I don't know how to say of about 25 centimeters, of about no sorry about 15 to 20 centimeters in width, and centimeters in no 30 yeah, about 15 to 20 centimeters in width, and the sideways is about 30 millimeters, almost ruler size. Now you stack four of those, and you get about almost a half a meter of height. That's how high people actually sleep off the beds over here.
Wow. So, well, let's see. A meter here is almost a yard. That's 36 inches, and half of that's what, eight, something like. Wow. Yeah.
Yes. So of course, one of my friends, her domestic work on the way to her was walking to a house to go work there, and she saw this little thing following her to this woman's house, and she had to find a way to get rid of it and to get away from it, because if they follow you to somebody else's house, they get attached to the other house as well. They play havoc with everybody.
Oh, that does not sound good.
No, you need a very strong person who has very powerful spiritual skills, or another sangoma who's able to do it and actually kill them. They
So
are
you have
not
to kill 'em.
they are not easy spirits to kill. They're very powerful.
Hmm. Whoa.
They are not gnomes. There's a difference. They are a relative of gnomes, but they're not gnomes. They're not that good. Like I said, they come directly from hell. Um, that's why they are the way they are, because they are summoned for bad reasons.
Wow. So basically, you're telling us that somebody evil, an evil magic using person, would summon these things to do harm to
Yes,
somebody, maybe an enemy or a just a rival or a
a jealous
anybody.
person. The thing is, Abia, there's a lot of jealousy amongst the people, amongst each other. It just is. It's part of human nature, I think. And so, of course, they use it. Look, I've experienced lots of dark magic when I was working at the work. Yes, it does help. The light within does help. You need to use it to protect yourself constantly. Because when I was working at Super Plants, that's the horticultural nursery, it shut down because of the bad energy. The jealousy over there was so bad towards the owner and the bosses that people, Sangomas witch doctors were coming there. We had people protecting us and we had people attacking us. Eventually, that place closed down. It just couldn't
Wow.
work. And a lot of us got physically ill. I got terribly physically ill. And my one colleague, she died from cancer. And she said to me, they're attacking us, find the object so that we can break it. And the problem is, I couldn't find it. I didn't know where they had hidden it. The place
Oh,
is huge.
they attach to an object?
Yes. What they do is they use bones, animal bones and feathers, and then after they place it somewhere um, wherever on the property, and that attracts all the negative energies to attack you, whether it's business, you personally, or anything like that. I hope that my accent is clear enough for you
No,
to
I
understand.
understand it. I think we can understand it well enough.
Okay, and that was one of the big experiences that we had. There was also poltergeist activity at that stage. I'm not sure if it was that, but I think it was because every morning we would find in the yard all the plants thrown onto the floor, just thrashed around, and
Mm.
and I couldn't wait for this place to just close down so I could get away from it. Yeah, we used salt. I went around without anybody knowing, throwing salt and praying. It just didn't work. It was too big. For two people, it was too big. Well, I'm doing that now for myself, Javier, because at the moment, with all this negative energy that's going on in our country, I have to, because they literally want to kill us.
So
Everything
they're
is our fault.
actually your government. Okay, now let's just put this in perspective just for a moment before you go on. I'm going to
Mm,
just put a little perspective on this, but I want to hear a lot more about this. I want to hear more.
mm,
But now let's think about this. Now we're in a country where you're not supposed to believe in hardly anything, basically. And if you were to say, I got little people stalking me, people would just, you'd be in trouble here because they'd kind of think you had gone, people will often, the average person will treat you like you something wrong with you, you're very superstitious, you've gone a little dotty, something like that. Although not everybody, there are some people who do understand. But here, people are taught to ignore if they see it because people will laugh at them or give them other strange, behavior in return if you say any of this. And then they have to kind of almost covertly, they either have to turn to their religion, which sometimes works and sometimes doesn't work so well, or they have to um, find somebody who knows something about it. So, and which can be difficult because to find a real person who knows something about it, somebody who's not just saying that they do or claiming, or, so here it would be different, a way different thing if we had that sort of thing going on, way different kind of. But you're saying that people where you are, this is a very common belief, and not only that, but a common experience, and it's sort of all over the place. Is that what?
yes, yes, it
Wow.
is. Um, People that are brought up in Western culture, um, in religion.
Hi, Belle, by the
Um,
way. Hello there.
Wait a moment, there's a difference. People that are brought up with a Western culture, indoctrinated religion, okay, tend to scoff at it. They know it's true, but they scoff at it because it's not supposed to be happening or real according to religion. Okay?
Right.
But because it's part of life, Javier, it is something that people are brought up with, that know these things. It's part of nature. Yeah, we all know that these things are real. We accept it, and we protect ourselves, and we are very cautious about, because you cannot dismiss it. Even if you don't want to believe it, you can look. The stuff that happens, Javier, um, it doesn't occur all the time, but it is very, very strong. And and even if you don't want to, it's going to. You just need to sort of like have a healthy respect for the culture, Savia. Avia, you need to respect the people in their beliefs, because we have Muslims, we have um, different types of black religion. What I mean is native beliefs.
Hey, great
Um,
big Sasquatch, just saying hi. Go right ahead.
so of course, you can't be too judgmental, and the people that are usually judgmental, Lavia, are the ones that suffer the repercussions of that, because especially amongst certain cultures, you've got to be careful what you say and how you say it. You cannot insult them, especially with religion, because they're coming back at you.
Wow. So it's like a
Yes,
spiritual war
yes,
every.
Denali, exactly that. But if like me, I don't know enough about it. But I know that if anything has to happen, I have to go to a higher person and ask for help, because
Oh,
I don't possess that type of knowledge or power to break a spell of that kind.
wow. I have to
It's
say,
not it's not something to be played with, and majority of people don't understand. They don't understand um, that Avia, they use a lot of black magic and magic for the things um, to benefit themselves and to hurt others, because that is actually how everything is operating at the moment.
well, yeah, if you are very strong and tender, you can easily charge things with an intention.
Yes, and also like I told you last time, remember I said to you, I've had a couple of sangomas coming inside the house wanting to attach themselves to an object in my house, and I had to chase them away. I literally had to blast them out with a little bit of anger and assertiveness, because that's how
So,
they do it.
so a sangama, you say,
Yeah, they're called sangomas.
which are different from these other ones that we can't say, right?
Yes, sangomas are witch doctors. We call them witch doctors because they're also doctors. They help people with illnesses.
One of the mods, get ready to type this if you, or somebody get ready to type this so that we have some idea. Can you spell the Sangama?
It's Songoma.
Okay. Just so people know. Please do not say the other word. You don't want to
No,
summon these things.
no,
Don't say
don't
the word
say it
with
out
you.
loud, because doesn't matter where you are summoning them. They are very powerful. Unfortunately, I know people will say no. You need to be positive and whatever, but the word itself has energy.
Yes, words do have energy. That's true.
So we
Aaron,
don't say it.
they originate from Africa. This is in Africa.
Well,
Mhm.
they're actually all over the world.
Thank you,
You
Bill.
just call it you just call it by different names.
Yeah. Well, Yeah, all over the world, I guess they have things like this, but I'm still wrapping my head around it a little bit. You're saying, okay, so even people in business, even the police know about it?
Oh, yes, they know about it. The thing is, they won't laugh at you. Either they will ignore it, or they'll say, go to so and so to sort it out, or they'll just say that they want to talk about it because it's a very scary subject.
Wow.
Um,
Mm.
they are afraid, especially the natives. They are very afraid. They will help you if they know about it, and they'll get somebody to help you because it's not something that you take it very lightly.
And you don't want it to spread because that if it's like you say and they can spread, you really don't want it to spread to a whole village. That'd take down the village. Wow.
Um, yes. The thing is, I must be careful what I say. Also, especially because it's on YouTube, so I must be careful how I
Right.
say it.
I do
But
understand.
I know that the things that they do, um, they do stuff with women, which then after the women have babies out of it.
Oh, like Rosemary's Baby, the movie,
Something like that.
kind of. And Annie, I love you too. Hope you come see it in the replay and listen tomorrow. Yeah, I understand. And Erin, if you want to come in afterwards and talk about what you know about after Marie's done with her presentation, you come in and tell us what you know about little people from there. That would just be great. So I'm going to get that link ready for you so that when you're ready, you can come in. And
Okay.
okay, keep going or keep rolling, Marie. Mary, is it
Yeah.
Mary or Marie? Marilena, Mary, which do you prefer?
It's better if you guys call me Marie because my full name is Marilena, but nobody knows if you're not of Latin speaking language, you find it difficult to pronounce my name correctly.
Marilena.
Yes, it's Marilena.
Okay. I think I might have done it. We'll
Okay,
go.
but that's the only information that I have. I can't give you any more because I don't really know.
Okay, so basically, can people ask you questions about this now?
Yes, they can.
Okay, who has questions about this? Because I know I still have a few questions, but I want you guys to have a chance to talk about this, to ask. Um, so basically, you're saying that my question is, until somebody comes up with another one, my question is, okay, so people create, uh, do things so that women will have cursed or possessed children. Is it?
Yes,
And
yes,
they are the same. They're basically the same kind of people do this. What and they
yes,
would be what we would call Satanists here.
yes, yes.
Yes, and uh,
I'll
so
give you an example, okay? Um, just a very basic example so that you can understand how it works here. You go to work, you have a sore throat. We usually go to a normal pediatrician, a normal doctor, and we pay them. and you get pharmaceutical medication
Right.
or homeopathic medication,
Hmm.
the natives, they go to the Sangama, which is a witch doctor, and they get special medication from them. Majority of witch doctors are not licensed doctors. That's the difference. They are licensed to prescribe medication or to give sick certificates or to heal a person. It's just plain juju. And then after, what happens is that these people continue getting sick. My best friend, she died from tuberculosis during the COVID-19 shutdown because she went to them because the doctors up here, they couldn't care anyway. So um, she went to one, and it's not like it helped her. She was a walking dead before she passed away, and we all could see it. But people don't want to listen, so
So in
whatever.
this case, so sometimes people confuse a disease with a curse and go to the wrong one, but both are
Yes.
legal. Both are quite legal there.
Mm-hmm.
So
No,
it's your choice.
yes. It's legal to go to a witch doctor, yeah, for anything, but it's illegal to use it as evidence for example, you want to go to work with a sick certificate or anything to do with legal stuff, and you want to present it as evidence, it becomes a non-admissible because they are not licensed practitioners.
Not licensed practitioners.
Yes,
Wow. Well, Truth, you know what? You can come in as anything you want to and just let us know who you are. I think I would be fine with that. As a matter of fact, invite all your personalities here. We'll have a party. But so basically they acknowledge it, they know it happens. It's perfectly legal to practice it, but you can't admit it in court. Okay.
exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
So
So now they use this practice, and they're not. Sorry, I'm using my hands. Um,
well,
they
using
practice.
hands is good. Speakers should use their hands. I
Um,
heard about that. That's fine.
they practice it. It's part of the culture. So of course now all these things happen. But do you understand what I'm trying to say? Is that they allow these things to occur because they're allowing it.
They allow it to occur.
Yes, they
Okay, are you
believe in it.
talking about the authorities?
Pardon?
Who's allowing it to occur?
The people. The
The
people
people.
themselves. They're
Them-
allowing it.
because of their beliefs.
Exactly. Yes.
So if it was not a common belief, it might be less common.
Exactly. And it wouldn't be as so strong either.
Interesting.
Because when you practice something like that and you practice it for the wrong reasons, for the selfish reasons, it has a ripple effect, and also depends on the evolution of the people's souls. I found that that also comes into a factor. Um, education. Education is a big thing. The less educated you are, the more likely you are to practice this type of um, behavior.
Mm-hmm. So I'm beginning to see maybe maybe I see some reasons why we cut it out of our culture, because maybe it can be a good thing not to have it be. Well, it's never good to be too superstitious and feel like everything is against you. Uh, is Ruger Ridge going to? Well, good to see you stop by, Ruger, and see you next time on The Price is Right, or whatever. Have a good sleep. Don't get scared, guys. So, thoughts are powerful. And Aaron, would you like to come in here and talk about this a little bit too? If so, please, you don't have to, once again, nobody has to show themselves. You can click out of that and just have a little Abby pick or something. But here's the link again.
Okay, Diana, I'm going to give somebody else a chance.
Well,
I'll see
nobody
you guys in
signed
chat.
up for it, so I hope you will be around to answer some questions if people have questions about this.
Okay.
Yeah. If not, I understand, but I mean, I think probably nobody is clicking to come in, so you're perfectly safe to stay if you want to. But yeah, you can go if you need to.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Wow. Uh right. People don't realize how powerful their thoughts are. That's so true. In this culture, I guess we're lucky in a way that a lot of people don't believe in it. Because in a place where everybody, oh, noise talking, everyone is asleep. I see. So maybe you would want to come in another time. I see. Maybe we can have you in another time and ask you about all of that a little earlier, perhaps on one of my earlier programs. Wow. Well, where to begin, indeed. Just start asking. She's still in here. And I'll put them up. Right. We do manifest our thoughts with energy. Absolutely true. Good night, Ruger, and sweet dreams. Yes. It is not easy. I know that I don't know a thing about these things. If they came to me, I would try to handle it like I handle everything. However, that may or may not work. It sounds like it may not work quite the same way. I don't know. I do know that when people are sending themselves, you can't quite get rid of them. You cannot, it's hard to permanently get rid of somebody who is living and sending themselves to cause trouble to you, which is why I say, please be careful what you show on social media. People who mean you harm can actually spy on you remotely through a picture. You notice I limit severely how much you can see of my room. It's because I don't want to constantly have to kick things out or protect, or, I have some protection going, but I don't want to have to think about it quite so much. I don't want to have to wonder about it. It's so be careful. People are showing everything online now. All the parts of their house, their children, their everything. There are people that can very much influence you just from a photograph. Some people, all it takes is a phone connection. a voice connection. I'm not saying this to be scary. I'm saying this so you know. And through objects, I have heard it quite often that people can charge objects. I've had it happen to me. People can charge objects and they can cause you problems. They can be dragging things with them until you get rid of the object. There's also a funny thing that somebody told me that I didn't know. I guess this is a Native American thing. There are these little quartz, sort of beige colored river rocks, are what they look like. They're quartz. They're like a white, beigeish quartz. And people use those to curse other people because they draw negativity to themselves. And I suppose this is interesting because if they are in a river, then they are constantly getting washed by the water, and the water are probably taking the negative vibe out of them. But taken out of the water, I suppose that's where the trouble starts, because if they're collectors of negativity, sometimes somebody will give you one and with the intention of letting it connect negativity to you. And so it was interesting. Somebody found one in my place, and I didn't know about this practice at the time. And when they got rid of it, a lot of things ceased. And all it was just a tiny, it was maybe the size of a marble, but it was somehow collecting negativity. Now, I suppose in a case like that, if you would constantly be cleansing it, it might not be so bad. You know, you maybe could get rid of all the negativity that way if you wanted to keep whatever the object was, because you can ask the water spirits for help. That's one way to get the charge off of a lot of things, is run it under cool running water, and that takes some of the charge off of it. But I suppose these little, it's funny because I didn't know anything about it either. Well, quartz stores things. I mean, it stores information. And I guess these particular ones store things in just a particular way, and that is they soak up the negative stuff. Yes, and you need to always cleanse anything you get. Oh boy. Yeah, you need to clean it when they come in. Oh, leave little objects for you to pick up innocently. Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah. The witch doctor practiced the use of animal or human blood. Yeah, blood is another very, very, very powerful thing, and I cannot tell you enough. I cannot tell you enough that you need to be careful. Anything dealing with blood, I would not recommend doing anything with blood. I mean, if you cast a spell with blood, that's your DNA. It's very powerful. Yes, I did. I do, in fact, remember that, Ben. We will get the cards out and do that. But Marie came up with a Marilena came up with a subject for tonight that I think people need to know about, because maybe somebody out there, this is a subject we need to talk about, because people can innocently do things and get themselves into a lot of trouble. People can unknowingly accept gifts. Um, Accepting gifts from somebody who is not really your friend, and most people, they can't tell, but you can. One of the ways you can tell is, how does that thing make you feel? If you go, ugh, when I have gotten rid of everything that makes me go, ugh. If I don't like it and I'm like, oh, I don't know why, but this creeps me out, I'll get rid of it. But yeah, the blood is the life source. That's true, Aaron. And it's still kind of interesting. Oh, Marilena, does this also attack the ovaries? Didn't this thing attack the ovaries? And then somebody was also asking, doesn't the man have to be possessed for this to happen, for this birth to happen? Wow. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, he has been our question asker. Glad you're in here. Too bad you weren't in a little sooner, because Marie was talking about the evil little people of her land. And if you see this, please, we are going to have to, you know what? I'm going to have to take that word out just in case somebody says it. I may have to take that word out of chat just so nobody says it. Yeah, I love to shop secondhand stores too. Well, thank you, Ben. Oh, okay. Yes, I recommend, if anything makes you go blah, leave it. Definitely, if it gives you the heebie-jeebies or causes any part of your body to feel funny, don't take it. Don't keep it. Don't. And if you go around your home, this is probably why it's such a great idea, and probably why it's a bad idea to have too many things piled on top of things, because you forget what you have, and then trying to find something would be very hard. So trying to figure out which thing might be doing the problem. Well, that's called psychometry, Denali. We're going to have to mention that too. Maybe we should go into that a little bit. You want to come in here and explain psychometry? If you want to, Denali, but it's your choice. But psychometry is basically the practice of being able to tell all about an object by just holding it and reading the vibe. Right. You should always walk through a home and property before you buy it. You can practice psychometry yourself. As a matter of fact, we could even do that. one night. Get something that you don't know where it's from or maybe from a friend or something, and see and read it and see. Hold it in your hand. This is a good way to practice. Okay, this is the way that we practiced when we were learning psychometry. Is you get something from one of your friends, you don't know anything about it. You get it from a friend so they don't give you something weird, you know. You don't want to read anything weird and unknown and weird. But you hold it in your hand, close your eyes, and concentrate. Concentrate. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm yawning so much. I should have had my nap. Concentrate on whatever you're getting from that, what it's making you feel, what images come to mind, and tell the other person what you're feeling or what images are coming to mind, and see if it coincides with something that they know about the object. And that's one of the things that you can do to practice that skill. So Linda says she can feel the energy, but not where it came from or anything. Well, if you can feel the energy, you might be able to develop the rest of that skill with some practice. So I would say maybe it's just a situation of you didn't know you could do that, that was something people do, and maybe you could try, just practicing with with a friend. Self-taught almost all of it, yeah. Well, that's true. I am a lot of it too. It's like we have stuff happen and then we have to figure out how to fix it, right? That's what makes you the magical person you become. That's what makes you the shaman. Home shopping, you know what? There were homes when we were home shopping one time for our first house. It was hard to find one that I could really stay. There was one that was a nice house and we loved it all the way until we got to the basement, and that was really neat because it had a door from the basement right out to the outside. It was mostly under the ground on one side, and then on the other side it did have a door that went outside, which would have been great in in bad weather. You could literally come in the basement and it would be like a mudroom. But I kept getting some kind of a weird vibe down in the basement. And then I heard the word Amityville. And I had seen the Amityville horror. And I said, honey, I don't think we want this one. Oh, no, Denali Princess, you were like me for quite a long time. I was like that. Yeah, I was like that. Every place I lived was haunted for a while. This is actually one of the cleanest places I've ever lived as far as haunting. I haven't encountered hardly anything here because it's so new. And the land is not bad. So really, I mean, the land doesn't have too much going on with it. I mean, that it's on here because it's a swamp. It was not a swamp, but bog, a wetlands. So nobody was living here for a long, long time. So, and they actually left a lot of the plants and stuff around. They didn't kill them all off and make like a strip mall or anything out of it. So Nessie said you can do psychometry with photographs. That's true. Right. You can do that. I'd have to say, yeah, most things are self-taught. Why? Because in this culture, they don't teach you. Ah, he's wanting his birthday reading. He says, I want my birthday reading. Yeah. Anyone that lives here has to pay rent. That's right. Okay, we'll do that. We'll do. Let me get to the reading. If it came up, there's usually a reason why it came up. And I can only assume that at some point, some of us or one of us is going to have this knowledge for some reason. Because of the way it came up, it just came up as, and Marie felt she had to tell us about this. So somehow it's important. So keeping you safe, which is a big thing. Yep. Yeah. Well, we need you, Denali, because I do things like that too, and I'm getting to where I'd rather do streaming than that. So we need the new guard to come in and start doing that more and more, because I want to sit back and let y'all do it more and more. I'm just to the point where I'm so over wanting. I don't want any. I'm just tired of it, having to do this, because people leave things unfinished and they don't believe, and then they do something stupid. They get themselves in trouble. On and on and on. And then somebody has to come and correct it. And I don't charge. So building more than 1,000 years old. Place I'm in doesn't have a spirit, but I also lived in the same apartment. And there were 2 spirits. And yes, spirits, we have free will. Yes, we do. Yep, we do have free will. Okay, we're going to do Ben's reading because he's chomping at the bit here. I did promise it. I try not to ever welch on my promises. I said the next time. And he wasn't here for last couple times, I don't think. Or maybe he got here too late. Yeah, there is. You can have good. Whoa. Well, Ben, something very interesting happened. The Heyoka came out. Can you see? This is the Sacred Path deck. This is Heyoka, the Sacred Clown. Okay. He says, things are the opposite of what you think. And he's about opposites. We are talking about there's good and bad, there's positive and negative, there's a duality in almost everything about this place. It runs on duality, so Interesting. And they use humor to teach. I may have a little Heyoka in me. Yeah, I have a tendency to use humor a lot. Yeah, a lot of them are very nice. I've had some very nice spirits come through my place. I have stories. One day we're going to have to do celebrity hauntings. I've had the spirits of celebrities come through and tell me things about themselves. I haven't had it as much because I have not had my doors open to having anything walking through. I have been liking it quiet. I've been liking the quiet. So, but yeah, I was for a while having celebrities come to me, and apparently, I'll tell you some of the stories tonight if you'd like. We'll go into that. Maybe you have some stories of your own. So that's right. And the natives looked at them as shaman. They had a very similar function. That's right. And the Heyoka can even tell the chief something. Can tell the chief what to do. Oh yeah, well, we'll talk about that too. Okay, now this is how we're going to do this reading, how I usually do a reading. Are you there, Mr. Ben? Are you ready for your reading? Ben, are you ready? Okay. Coolest spirit I've ever spoken with. That's difficult. Hold that question. We're going to do Ben's reading before he busts. Oh, the bone hole needs to go out. Yep. Okay. Okay, get ready, because what I want you to do, I'm shuffling the first set of cards. And I want you to tell me when to quit shuffling. Just type it in. So just type it in when you want me to quit shuffling. That's how it works. I am shuffling. Okay, right now. First card. And this is the card of the north. No, wait, east. That's right, this particular reading we start in the east. And it is the giveaway ceremony. The giveaway ceremony is about releasing something. Okay, so right off, there's something you need to get rid of and release. And it has something to do with things of the East, which are learning, let's see, the East. Well, the directions all have a meaning. The East is air, it's sunrise, it's spring, and rebirth or birth, and as well as money, finance, learning. And the qualities that you associate with the sun. So just to give you an idea what the directions are about mean. So that is in your east. In your south, dream time, which is the words on the bottom are unlimited vision, but dream time is what shamans use to affect reality. Dream time touches both the world of dreams and this world. And so if you go into dream time and affect something, which is basically what how many of us work. I work this way. Many of us work shaman. This is how the shaman works. They go into the dream time version of whatever they're handling and affect it there. And that affects it here. So the fact that this is down in your south is very interesting, and it says you really need to pay attention to your dreams and what's been happening in your dream time, because it looks like it has to do, the south has to do with childhood. It also has to do with summer. Usually it's fire. It's the element of fire. And a lot of times your love life shows up down here because it's fire, but it can also show up in cups, which this would correspond to fire, and this would correspond to air up here, and the water, which is the next one, that would correspond to cups in the tarot. So yeah, don't forget the like button. How do we undo what? Yeah, you can call in. Sure. Hang on. There you go. You can come in. Yeah. How do we undo what? Yeah, humor actually does bring up a lot of things. You can say things humorously that you wouldn't be able to say normally. Okay, we only see half of you. You're going to get yourself a little more centered. There you go. That's better.
Let me try it. All right.
Okay. Hi.
Hi.
Okay, so
So I think that the second one that you did, it was
yes.
a little bit whenever you told me to tell you when to stop shuffling, I
Mm-hmm.
think that it was just it was a lag because of the communication on the YouTube thing.
Well, I was shuffling very slow, so
Okay. All right.
I think we got, usually we get it right.
Mm.
Um, tell you what, if it
Yes,
doesn't
ma'am.
sound like anything in your life,
What's
we'll
up,
do.
ma'am?
If it doesn't sound like anything that's going on in your life, we'll give you another chance at it. But I think it probably will be something going on. It will probably
Yeah.
be.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So this says something going on in your dream time that you need to be aware of and to watch your dreams, because your dream's going to be giving you information that you need. So if you have something going on in your dream time,
That does not, that I
because
mean,
dream time is in between waking and sleeping. And okay, let's see what else we've got.
okay.
Talking stick over in the west. which is actually a pretty good one for you because I don't know. I think maybe something's going on with Dreamtime that you don't know because talking stick is actually has a lot to do with you. Talking stick, and I'll show you what it looks like. Here's what it looks
All
like.
right.
Okay, so the talking stick was used when a lot of people were in a discussion, when they would sit around the campfire and discuss what to do next. Everybody had a chance to give their opinion.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we do here.
Mm-hmm.
And basically we allow people to have their different opinions and we take our turns. Okay. And that's what the talking stick is about. You would say your piece, take the stick, say your piece,
Mm-hmm.
and you would hand it then on to the next person, and then it was their turn. And while the person had the talking stick, nobody else could say anything.
Okay.
There was also
Mm-hmm.
an answering feather sometimes that you would give to a person so that they could answer you if you were posing a question. And you would give it to the person so that only that person could answer the question you were asking. And that was to avoid confusion in a big group. You can see how this was a very simple way to eliminate confusion. I mean,
Absolutely.
a lot of their things were very simple, but real effective, because if somebody had that stick, you shut up.
Yeah.
It was just, and that was enforced. So I have been at many circles where this was used. So let me make sure nothing else is going on up here that I need to watch. Give me a wrench, I'll fix it. Denali's ready to fix it. Okay, the next one is, Field of Plenty. Now, interesting thing about Field of Plenty, see, it's a cornucopia.
Mm-hmm.
And that's good because up here, it's in the direction. Oh, I didn't tell you. Over here, the talking stick is in the direction of the west, which is the flow. It's also emotions, and it is fall. So it is this time of the year. And it is also the time down here in the south would be as a child. Up here, this is an adult. Up in the north here, that is the elder. So,
Mm-hmm.
and it's also winter. So this would be corresponding to earth. And what you've got up here is a symbol of needs being manifested in the winter time or in the home. And it looks like something you have been talking about, a lot of people have been talking about that you need is going to be manifested. It's saying right now, there's something that you need to give away. And it can be anything. It can be a thing. It can be an attitude. It can be an idea. It can be anything. Something needs
Oh, okay. Okay.
given away so that over here, so that you can really hear what other people are saying and,
Okay.
and be heard yourself. Down here in the dream time is a place where you can affect things without actually touching them. We'll find out more about what this dream time one is about.
Yeah, really. I really don't know what that is, except I might possibly have sleep apnea. I might. So I
Well,
really don't.
that might affect your dream time, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But
You have
what you're seeing right now, there's this dude that fishes in my neighborhood and it doesn't know as much as he needs to know about fishing.
oh,
So
okay.
I might be able to help him with that.
You
'Cause
might. Hmm. Maybe it's a good thing that you do because of course people not knowing can actually do some damage um, to themselves and others. But the field of plenty is great because it's the causal plane. And it says you're manifesting something. Something you want is going to
Yeah.
manifest probably right around Thanksgiving. You're going to get
Wow.
something you want.
Okay. Well, I'm really thinking about changing careers because of with the Biden thing, the plants are going to be closing in Louisiana. So like the petrochemical plants. So I have been thinking about actually going back to school and changing careers. Does that sound like
Yes, it would. This would, yeah.
okay?
It's yeah. The giveaway then might be you need to ditch the old job and get something new, and we'll find out more about that in a minute. Thunder
Mhm.
beings, your center card. Thunder beings, you see that? So
Yes.
usable energy. And what's good about this? What's cool about this is that means yes, you will have the energy to get through this. You will if you're doubting that you're going to be able to make it into the next job and have enough
I
and
had
everything, you're going to
yes, I have been. Yes.
you're going to be fine.
Okay.
And the then in that case, what the dream time is saying is you need to have unlimited vision instead of having a limited vision of what you can do or what you can accomplish or the job that you can get. Start
Okay.
looking around for what you really, really want to do. And that
Okay.
might be open to you now, where maybe it
Wow.
wasn't open to you before.
Yeah.
So that's actually a very good thing. So far, we're doing very good here. Now I'm going to have you do it again because these are the Sacred Path cards, and I always read them with these cards, which are the animal medicine, which are your spirit animals and your totem animals talking to you.
Okay. All right.
So
Yeah.
once again, tell me when to stop shuffling.
All right. Stop.
Okay. And it says here in the where it says what to give away. Okay, it says give away something. We've also got armadillo, which is boundaries. Oops, did he disappear? Oops, I think he fell off. Well, we got to wait a little bit for him to come back on. Thank you, Bomber, for mentioning the Woo Crew group. Yeah, I'm kind of missing some things up here. Oh dear. Yeah, don't be very careful. Okay,
Really.
you're back on.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know how to undo it either. Did you delete somebody?
Who, me?
No, Bomber.
No. Oh, okay.
Deleted somebody. Okay. Well, we're going to have to figure that out if anybody knows how to figure that out. You're okay? Okay. Okay. Good. I was just saying the armadillo is proper boundaries. It's saying, Ben, over here, one of the things you need to give away is, or to get rid of or release, is, now let me see exactly. The armadillo is all
Wow.
about your letting people, if you're letting people get in too much to your business and to your
Oh
life,
no. I do not. I do
right?
not. I
So,
don't. I don't. I don't. I don't even tell my wife exactly what's aggravating me.
right.
I have a
And don't do
very I have a very tough arm around me.
well, then that's telling you that basically,
It's a
this is
problem,
actually, then
right?
this is something you need. Uh,
Yeah.
the armadillo is all about boundaries and knowing when to be playful, because they're actually very playful little creatures when they're not being threatened. But when they're
Mm-hmm.
threatened, they know how to roll up and hide, basically
Mm-hmm.
put on their armor. So it's a lot about knowing when to have very, put up your boundaries and when to let them loose a little bit. Uh,
Yeah, my problem might be that I don't know when to put them down, but I mean, my boundaries are always up.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it then, because maybe you're a little too unreachable sometimes. You know.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, sounds
Okay,
about right.
probably it, and that's over in the direction of the east. So that's air, and so that's in the direction of the intellect and the mind and stuff. Yeah, maybe you're just a little bit too much that way and need to relax just a bit with certain people, like maybe.
It's hard to relax, you know. I don't really trust people too much.
I don't blame you in some regards. I've had times when I sure don't either. It's like I had nobody
Yeah.
that I really trusted, and then one of my good friends said, "Well, then don't trust anybody if that's what you're feeling. Maybe you don't have anybody to trust right now." But
Yeah.
not trusting anybody is a really hard place to live.
It is. It is. It's a complete isolationism. You know what I mean? So
Uh,
I'm
Sounds like
isolated all the time,
you
and I
need to get with better people, I think. Well, this
well,
might be a start because you are actually online with some pretty good people.
you're right. You're right, and I like my friends that I met online. I
So
really
that
do.
would be a good start. Um, Here is the fox coming up in the south, which is the fire direction, which is summer, but it's also a lot of times where your love interest is. Um, let's see what the fox has to say. And fox is about being clever. It's a trickster animal, and it's in right where a trickster animal is supposed to be in the south. The trickster animals live in the
All
south.
right.
And the fox has a tendency to play with its prey until it gets close enough to do a little dance and play and until it gets close enough to actually strike and eat it. And a fox is just there's all kinds of meanings to fox, I'm sure you know, and all of the meanings apply to this card. So down here in Dreamtime, it also with on top of Dream, the Dreamtime card, it so much to me. I'm looking at this card, and it seems to me that that fox is looking right at me, like really
Yeah.
intently.
What
So
what could that mean?
I'm trying to pick up exactly on that. Honestly, it's actually moving. I think it may be one of your animals.
Hmm. I
It,
really don't know anything about that.
in my vision here, in my mind, this fox is moving and staring right at me, and I can even hear it breathing. What do
Wow.
you what do you need to tell Ben?
What do I need to tell?
I'm asking it. I'm asking this fox. This spirit fox has come up for you.
Oh, okay.
And I'm asking Fox what the message is
All right.
for you. It says, mind what you do. People are watching.
Okay.
It says, you also need to be the keen observer.
Okay.
It says, take a good look. Take a real good look at everything that you're being offered. Because you will be offered some things. Take a real close look at it. People are
Okay.
looking at you too. So bear that in mind. It's a situation in which cleverness, you're going to have to be a little bit clever. You're going to have to be a little bit more like the fox.
Okay.
And a little bit less, maybe a little bit less like the armadillo and a little bit more like the fox, which is a little bit more playful, but still being very observant and watchful. So I think that's what it's trying to say.
All right.
I think it might be one of your spirit animals
Okay.
that is hanging around because it came so alive when it came out here.
Maybe I'm just missing out on that. Really don't know what a spirit animal is, or
It's an animal that is like a guide for you. It's the Native Americans. It's part of the Native American belief that you have uh, totem animals and you have spirit animals that come. That the animals come and teach us wisdom if we're willing to learn.
All
They
right.
all have a certain wisdom that they carry with them, and
Yeah.
that they're willing to teach us if we're willing to learn.
Hmm.
And yours looks like two of yours will be an armadillo and a fox. So,
I can understand the armadillo. Well, yeah, yeah, yep. I can understand both of them.
yeah, the fox is being very observant. I'm getting extreme observance. You probably already are. I
Yes,
probably
ma'am.
do.
Yes,
Uh,
ma'am.
well, I can tell because your questions.
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
yes, you pay attention.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Okay. Interesting over here on the talking stick in the West in the emotions. Now, don't get worried about this because this isn't a bad thing. It's snake. Snake.
Ooh,
Okay.
great. Yeah.
Snake is not bad, but it speaks of a needed change. Usually,
Wow. I needed change, huh?
once again, we're talking about you need to change. Lord knows you got to change. Anyway, yeah, and this is good because the snake sheds its skin and a shake the snake. I can't. Come on, talk, girl. And a snake that can't shed its skin will die. So if you cannot change yourself into the new, you cannot shed your skin, your old skin, to bring your new self into existence.
Mm.
I'm stagnant, and it goes right along with this wanting to find yourself another job and feeling you need. You are right on. I would say yes. It's saying please go do that, and please. And now the thing about this snake is when it sheds its skin, it takes a while, and it's kind of a long and involved. It's
Hmm.
strenuous. So the snake also guards its eggs, its ideas for the future, and that is another meaning of this. But the snake also has snake venom can be used in medical applications too. So there's all kinds of. That's one of the reasons the snake is on the medical uh, symbol.
Yeah.
This could
Right.
sometime. This could even be talking about something having to do with the medical profession. So sometimes it does. But most
Yeah.
definitely it is about shedding the old to make way for the new. And I
Well,
would say if you're looking to get a new job, it's a great time to do it. And yes, it's saying all the way yes.
the caduceus is a symbol of the medical profession.
Right. And it
Yeah.
has two snakes on it. So there you go.
Yeah.
The next card is the moon.
What is it? A moose?
Cha would have loved that. Moose. Okay, the moose. And the moose is especially around mating time. He lets everybody know how he feels. So, but it's something to be happy about. You're going to be glad and you're going to be telling people. This is a very good card. This is a very good card to have up here in the north, because the north, on top of the cornucopia, you're going to be coming in here and telling us all about this cool thing that happened.
Hmm.
You're going to be like, you guys aren't going to believe this. This is cool. One of these days,
That's great. That's great.
this thing's going to come along and you're going to say, guys, it's party time. I got what I wanted.
But I'm just a person that's waiting for the negative, so I know it's going to come up.
Well, see, that's the thing. In dream time, you've got to start focusing on the positive.
Okay.
And the dream time can also be in meditation. So you need to start focusing your meditations and thoughts and everything, because that connects with the dream time.
I've meditated once before, and it made me go to sleep right after. So
Well,
I've never meditated again.
well, that, just meditate at a time when you can sleep right after. Maybe you'll have a
Uh,
dream that will be useful.
wow. Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. All right.
But yeah, meditation or affirmations or anything that can get you into a positive frame of mind to have this thing happen will help you now. And it's saying, and if you do, you will have something very good to be happy about, to tell us all about when it happens. It'll be very a happy time. So
Okay.
it looks like this may come about right around Thanksgiving because it's there. So this opportunity, probably an opportunity coming up around Thanksgiving, and it will really be a Thanksgiving. So
Wow.
I hope that is exactly true. Now, on top of the center, the whole center of the thing, though, we have Coyote.
Hmm.
Okay, now Coyote is a trickster, another trickster. You got another
Hmm.
trickster showing up here. And so you've got two tricksters. So it says, yes, you are in a tricky situation. You're in a situation where things are not as they seem.
Hmm.
So, sitting right here on top of Thunder Beings, which is energy, one of the things it says is humor. Okay, because humor, but also, you can't be humorless about this. Retain your sense of humor, especially since the Heyoka was the first thing to fall out all the way back there, but before we even shuffled. But the Coyote says things are not going to be what you think they are. And so the energy may be coming from a direction you're not expecting, or from a place or a relationship, a contact, a business, a job that you're not expecting. So it looks
Okay.
like you might not be looking. You need to look a little different at what your options are, and you may find exactly the right thing. But
Okay.
also be aware that things are not the way that they seem, as they and
That's understandable. I understand. Yeah, I understand what that means.
okay, so that's why that came up for you. Now, do you have any questions about this? And we'll go on.
No, everything I understand everything that you told me, and all of the things really they hit home about it.
They add up?
Yes, they do. What's the first one? What's the first one again?
The first one was the giveaway ceremony and the armadillo. That was in the
How
east.
about the I don't even know what it's called.
Which one? Okay, you had, was it the first set of cards or the second set, or the
It was
animals?
the first card.
Okay, the dream time, the talking stick, the cornucopia, or field
Mm,
of plenty, and the thunder beings.
no, it was like something. It wasn't. I don't even remember what it was called, but I've never heard of it before. The, wow, I wish I could remember what it's called.
Okay, giveaway ceremony, dream time, talking stick, thunder beings, and
The coyote something?
the coyote.
No, not the coyote. It was wow. First card you showed me.
Aoka,
Yes. What is that?
the one that dropped out. That's the contrary clown. That is a shaman that teaches through opposites and humor,
What?
kind of like the court jester did in the European way. In the Native American way, the Heyoka is a very powerful shaman that teaches through humor and opposites. So
Okay. My
and
internet
he's totally
dropped out for a second. I'm sorry.
that's
My
okay.
internet dropped out for a second. Could you explain what that is? Kayoka?
The the Heyoka, yeah, I just did. He's the contrary clown. He
Okay.
teaches people by playing tricks
Oh.
and using humor and doing the backwards. He's called a contrary. He does backwards of what you would expect, and
Mm-hmm.
he has a what's this? Huh. Interesting. We're going to have to look into that. But yeah, a Helka is a contrary clown. A contrary is a shaman, and a very powerful one, but uses humor and opposites in order to get his business done, in order to teach, and also in order to effect his healing sometimes. So sometimes, and he will do things like Crazy Horse was one of the greatest known shaman,
Oh
in his
wow. Yeah.
that we know of. Crazy Horse was a Heyoka shaman,
Mm-hmm.
very powerful. Rode backwards into battle and didn't get shot.
Yeah.
Rode his horse backwards into battle. And it freaked out the competition like nobody's business, right? The other side was just totally freaked out by this guy and the fact that he wasn't getting shot. And they wash with water, or they wash with sand and dry with water. They do things backwards, but they do that to show us what not to do, and sometimes ask
Mm,
us to do things that are the opposite so that we can learn that that's not what we
okay.
do.
I
Okay.
have I have exactly two more questions for you.
Okay.
Would you be able to tell if I have any kind of attachments?
Yeah. Okay. I'll even
Be-
double check it with a pendulum. Okay. All the usual conditions apply.
Because you've probably heard my Ouija experience, right?
If you still have an attachment. Okay, you ready to go?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Does Ben have a spiritual attachment right now? Yes.
Oh man.
Does Ben have an unhealthy spiritual attachment? Some of them are healthy. Yes, you do.
And unhealthy?
An unhealthy one, yes.
What
You
do I
do.
do about that?
Well, we detach it. We can get rid of it. Okay, and we will.
Hmm.
You get in touch with me a little bit later.
All
You know
right.
where to find me. I'm over on
Well,
Mule, right?
I tried. I asked you about it earlier. I mean, a couple weeks ago, and
Somehow we
I
got
I didn't.
disconnected. Yeah, we didn't get back to it. There's some stuff with Bomber I couldn't get back to too. It was the weirdest thing. It
Yeah,
was
but I
like,
just didn't have the right email address.
oh well, I don't have an email address.
Oh, okay.
I don't give an email address. I tell you to meet me over at MeWe and we'll private message back and forth, or maybe talk. You can talk
Yeah.
on MeWe, like
I
you can.
know.
Hmm?
I know. I really don't like any kind of social media. I'm very private. You know, I will make an account to talk to you about it.
Okay, well, the thing about MeWe is it's like Facebook, but they don't data mine, and they are pretty private. They're not data mining like Facebook, so it's not owned or run by the same people.
Yeah,
So that's why a lot of us are there. It's safer, it's more secure, and it's not run by a megalomaniac, as far as we know.
I understand. Yeah.
So
So
it's a little safer than maybe quite a bit safer than a lot of the social media platforms. And a lot of us are moving to that. As a matter of fact, this channel, I will stay here on YouTube, yes, but a lot of my stuff I will probably move to another venue because that is not as censored and a
yeah.
little safer. So just be aware of that I may say, hey, guys, I'm moving the live streams over or something, because we talk about a lot of things in live streams that are potentially touchy. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, I would help you with that.
I would
And there
really
are people
appreciate
in
it.
here, we have people in here that can do, don't worry about asking about that, because I'm sure we have, there's plenty of help here for people.
Okay.
But yeah, we can detach that, and we can send it to where it needs to go so that it can't come back.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, yeah. My
Yeah.
second question is, my grandmother was extremely psychic, and a lot of times, like right before my wife is gonna call me, I'll call her. Like the within 3 or 4 seconds, I can tell when certain things are gonna happen. Does that mean you think I have psychic abilities at all?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's probably why you're here. When you're ready, the teachers show up. Okay. When you're ready for it, the people you need to be with start to show up.
Okay.
The
All right.
people who can help you with that when you're and it sounds like you're getting ready. You're fixing to do that right now. So if that's what's happening, yes, you probably are coming right into it, and there are plenty of help here on this channel. So you're in the right place, Ben.
All right. All right.
All
Well,
right,
I
and you're in the right
really
place.
appreciate it.
People are pretty decent people, from what I can pick up.
Yeah.
You're in the right place. Okay, brother. You
I
go get
appreciate it.
right now.
Have a good night.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. All right. Bye.
Bye. Napster. Whoa, there's a blast from the past. Well, there you go, people. There was a reading, and you got to see part of it, and we'll do more of that kind of thing, live readings. But you see, they're kind of involved and take a little bit of time, so we can't do that for every darn person on at one time. We're going to have to do it like one night and another one another night, or maybe a couple at a time. But I couldn't do like 15 of these in a stream and actually be effective. I could give you a shorter reading, but I couldn't do probably it'd take up all 4 hours and maybe another 4 hours, because I don't stop just because let's just say I don't quit until the job's done. It's just MeWe.com. My group is the Ohio Woo Crew. When you come in, my group is the Ohio Woo Crew. But it's for anybody. Anybody can join. You don't have to be from Ohio. It's just that I'm from Ohio. And it's so hang on. Let me see. Let me get these back in safely so that they're not being jeopardized in any way. Was it interesting? Well, I'm glad to hear you say that. I'd hate for it to be boring. Let me put something down here for Etri, since my mods are busy or something, I guess. Perhaps my mods are busy right now. Okay, MeWe.com. There's the social platform. My group is the Ohio Crew. There we go. And when you come in there, look at who heads up the Ohio Woo Crew. That's me. And send me a private message, which you can do, and we'll talk. You're just being lazy. You just lazy. You just lazy. Cookie, you being lazy. What do we have to do? Pay or something? Yeah, maybe send you some cookies. Well, yeah, farther back, Bomber did put in all of that information. She really did. I'm teasing. So if you scroll back, it is back there too. My gosh, I can't believe I'm yawning. Yeah, that was interesting. And I think it was probably a good time for him to have that too. Meditative. Hey, a cordless drill? May Chris get himself May Chris get a cordless drill? Okay. We'll intend that. The woo is strong. The woo is strong in this one. Yeah, don't be worried about falling asleep after you're falling asleep during even. It's not really, they don't want you to fall asleep during your meditation, although I have done it. But falling asleep after is pretty normal because you're really relaxed. And I'm considering doing meditations in here because they do help people. They really do help you. And I've been threatening to do the tree meditation, which is a very nice one. I think a lot of us would relate to that because trees are great. They really are. Yeah. I mean, the personality of a tree, and it seems like just all trees have a lot of personality, and their personality is always, and you know, in an earlier age, they were called dryads. The spirit of the tree was called a dryad. And they're always very wise and kind. I have not met a tree that is not, you know, knowledgeable and wise and kind and very, like one of my friends said when she realized that she was talking to the tree, she said, "Oh geez, and I hammered a nail in you to hang up my clothesline. I'm really sorry." And the tree said, "Oh, that's okay, I understand." You know, very understanding. um well, then you heard wrong. You heard wrong, Ben. It's not bad. It's not a bad thing. It really isn't. Right. The frequency sounds in the background, which actually I was doing for a little bit. I don't know if you heard it or not, but earlier today I was playing the levitate one. Yeah, I've never heard it. Take an alcoholic screwdriver on the rocks. Woohoo, there you go. I'll take a sonic screwdriver. A Canadian tool. Are you really? Ah, Denali apologized to the tree for thinking about cutting her down. It's like, I'm sorry. I know, it's like, I have actually apologized to weeds in my yard before. I'm sorry, but I can't let you grow all the way over here. I need these plants. Crows are very smart. Maybe the crow has something to tell you. Ooh, I think the crow is your spirit animal. I just got that. Ken, the crow's a spirit animal. Number 2, Robbie is universal. What's number 2, Robbie? Oh, I guess not. Number 2, Robbie? Anybody know what that is? My tree told me she was 257 years old. Well, that's nice of her to tell you that. Yeah, Canadians and Aussies have some things in common. I like both of them, really. Yeah. You're welcome, Ben. BPTs, you sound like my neighbor. What did he say? Brand name for a drill. Oh, no, not that I know of. We don't have those here. Louisiana, yeah, I got that right off because I lived in Louisiana a little bit. And definitely Louisiana. Yeah, you can't miss Louisiana, can you, Lucid? Yeah. Well, Ken, are you by any chance an air sign or just an airhead? I'm kidding. Maybe there's a reason the birds particularly like you. And I won't say it's because you're a bird brain, because that isn't it. Actually, if you had a crow, crows are similar to primates. I mean, they're right up there with primates as far as complexity of their brains. So we got to be careful when we say bird brain, don't we? Because they're actually pretty smart. So very interesting. Think you're a fire, huh? Yeah, okay. What sign are you then? We'll tell you. I'm sure people know. Raised in Lafayette, and now you're in New Iberia. Okay, see, I thought so. Yeah, crows are interesting birds, and they are, and they have a lot of memory. Um, they remember things, and they even teach things to their young. So if somebody is mean to them, even the young'uns will know. They'll pass that information on to their young ones. And if somebody is nice to them, they'll pass that on too. Very interesting birds. Well, let me see. The fire signs are Aries, Sagittarius. Help me out. I'm having a brain fart. I know Aries and Sagittarius are 2 of the fire signs, and I can't think of the other 2 right now. Leo also. I can't think of that fourth one. Yeah, Leo. If you were any of those, you are a fire sign. Anyway. Isn't that interesting? So you can talk to the animals, Dr. Doolittle. You can, actually. You actually can. You can talk to the animals, learn their languages. Ah, square head. But if you have a square head, tell me your truth at Gmail. Scorpio. No, Scorpio's water. But you know what? They're so they are the fire of water. Well, there you go. Some of us have that. Actually, all of us can have that. Lived in a lot of places, a majority of it haunted. Me too. Yeah, trees and animals generally don't lie. Guilty dogs. You ever see the guilty dog videos? Nobody does guilty like a guilty dog, I tell you. Nobody. Nobody does guilty. When dogs are guilty of something, they don't lie. They may try and cover it, though. They may try and cover up what they're doing, but honestly, it's my allergy season, by the way. Leaf mold. But it's very hard for them to lie. And they look so guilty. They know they did something wrong. It's so funny. Cats can be that way too. Cats will be like, oh, damn, they figured it out. Oh, damn, sorry. They tell on each other. Yeah, they do. That's right. It's just three: Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. You're right, Belle. He tells on the naughty dog. And they'll always blame the cat because it's always the cat's fault, right? They figured they can get away with that one. That's funny. Season change colds? No, I just have allergies to leaf mold. And we had rain and the leaves have fallen. So there's no mystery to it for me. I know what's happening. Yeah, you say to the cat, what did you do? It's like they'll be like, you love me, don't you? Come on, you know you love me. You're not going to hurt me, right? You love me. I'm cute. They're funny. Yeah. You know what mine would do? Mine would do all kind. I have to tell you some of my dog and cat stories sometimes. What's wrong with a Scorpio? Scorpio. I don't know. What do you mean, Ben? Oh, well, if you're saying some of us kind of make jokes about Scorpios, but not to a Scorpio's face. Scorpios are either your best friend or worst enemy or both at once. which makes them kind of an interesting case. And they're very emotional. Very emotional. They're like the fire part of water. And they can sting. If they don't make it to they're actually three symbols commonly associated with Scorpio, which is the scorpion, the phoenix, and the eagle. And if they are phoenixing, it's difficult because they're going through a death and rebirth. If they're the eagle, they're great. But when they're the scorpion, whoa, they can be, the dark side of Scorpio is very dark. Very dark, very powerful, and they don't give up. So, but on the other hand, it's the same way on the good side. The eagle doesn't give up either. So it's the higher version. And at one time, the eagle was the most used version of the sign. It's only been more recently that the Scorpio has become more in use, which is just a sign of that something fell. The energy must have fallen. So when the eagle comes up in the cards, it can be a Scorpio. Okay. Yeah, very strong personality. Very strong personality. Deb, by the way, Deb. My Stacey Poo, my good friend Deb. She's a Scorpio. Most of the time, she's an eagle. She got mad at me one time, though, and I was worried. Scorpios, nobody gets mad like a Scorpio gets mad, let me tell you. But no, she's an eagle, so she's okay. Yeah. It's some people are scared of them, though. I'll tell you right out. There are people who are afraid of Scorpios because of how emotional they can get. Yeah, you just need to realize they will take hurts and store them up. They'll take them and store them up, and then all of a sudden, boom. It's like they are paying attention to everything you ever say that is less than kind. So you got to watch. And weird Capricorns. I would say that's a good combination. A Libra with the spirit animal of a wolf. Well, I'm seeing a wolf that can run like the wind. I would say that the wolf is a teacher too. Also, a wolf will come into when maybe it is or is not your totem animal, but sometimes it's introducing, it will come in to introduce another animal. So sometimes when you see a wolf, it isn't always your particular animal. Sometimes it's introducing a teacher. But yes, a lot of times it is your teacher, and a lot of times it is your totem. I have a wolf. Well, yeah. I mean, okay, wait a minute. Capricorn who gave birth on her birthday? Wow. Mini-me. Trying to make a mini-me, huh? Mini-me. Oh, your dad was a Pisces. You know what? There's another thing about astrology. People don't understand it well enough. And once you do, it does make sense. But you have to understand it well enough. And I will go into astrology sometime here for the common person, for the layman, for the person who doesn't want to look at all the ephemerises and get deeply into it, but just wants to know enough to be informed and understand it. I can do that. And there's a book called Secrets from a Stargazer Scrapbook that is very good with that too, if you can still find it. But it sure taught me a lot, and it's very simple. And it explains, but everybody has a chart that is pretty much like a snowflake. So trying to use a cookie cutter type interpretation like you find in the paper is really silly. It doesn't really work very well. Keep going with what? I forgot what I was going with. Yeah, astrology, you've got 12 pie pieces in your chart. There are 12 houses. Each of them means something different. They're a different area of your life. That's just a start. Then you've got 12 signs. Then you've got, which is already 12 squared probabilities, but then you've got all of the aspects. And then you've got all of the degrees of that. And then you've got, it's complicated. It's very complicated. Lena Goodman's book, Sun Signs, isn't bad. Yeah, that's a good one. A Capricorn who gave birth on her birthday, what do you want to know about it? All I said is mini-me. I remember what I said. I said mini-me. She wanted to make a mini-me. Capricorns are the heights and the depths. Capricorns are very solid, hard to tear down people. No matter how many times they fall, they get up again. Hard to tear them down all the way, though. Hard to keep them down. They're too solid. They are the earth of earth. The earth part of earth, the solid part of earth, the stone. And the reason their symbol is that creature that is a mountain goat and a fish is because of the heights and the depths. They can sink to the depths, they can rise to the heights. That is their nature. So, the 13th sign is the Ophiuchus, or Ophiuchus. Sounds kind of dirty, doesn't it, Nessie? Nessie still there? Sound kind of kinky? I'm an Ophiuchus. Or the Serpentarius. It's the sign of the serpent, and it's stuck somewhere in between Scorpio and Sagittarius. And if you go by that, I'm one. Whoever thought your birth chart could change? But yeah, they're have a whole different. I'd have to go into another. I'd have to go and I'd put that on another stream. Really, we'll do some. How about this? We will set up some astrology on this stream, on one of the streams. Capricorn giving birth on her birthday, like I said, it's just, what I'm getting is like mini-me. The person that she gives birth to is going to be very much like her. It's almost like a cloning, almost like she cloned herself. But is what I would get from that. maybe I could get something a little bit more later when I'm not trying to do a live stream. I don't know. When I'm not trying to watch everybody's comments and have my mind going in different directions. That's why I need my mods, my sweet mods, because honestly, when I'm working on stuff, I can't. The multitasking kind of goes out the window when I'm working on this kind of thing. Okay, so Ophiuchus, we'll have to explain Ophiuchus someday a little bit better. It is very complicated. Well, thank you, Etri. I believe that they are too. I believe that we're one of the most informed groups. One of the most informed groups. I know a little bit of numerology, not a lot, but a little bit about it. I know a little bit about everything. I had to. Why is what not used? Looked after my mate Sean for a year when he was down and out after coming back. Now it's his turn to look out for you, huh? Yeah. Changes like your DNA. I'm trying to figure out what you guys are talking about, and it's not coming very clear to me. Is a Libra compatible with a Scorpio? Well, it could be. I mean, they're not intrinsically bad for each other. Libras want things to be fair, though. They're intelligent people. They're mental people. They're okay. The thing about Libras is they are the only sign. Just to give you a clue. They're the only sign that is a machine and not a creature, a being. They are a machine. Some people swear that they're all aliens. But all Libras are aliens. I don't know. I cannot speak to that really. Elbow cough, elbow cough. Okay, well, somebody just tell me because the chat is going kind of fast tonight and I'm trying to find it. Okay. Libra's the only sign that gets along with every sign. Yeah, Libras do usually get along. What's a good match for Capricorn? We're gonna, you know what, honestly, we're gonna do astrology and I'll be ready for it, okay? I'm not ready for astrology tonight. I'm not ready for it to be an astrology night. I don't have any of my notes or books or anything with me, and it is a very complicated subject. So I would love to answer your questions, but it's going to have to be another night. And not tonight, because it's just going to be too much for me tonight. I don't have my stuff with me to help me. 1011, a birthday computer code. Ho, 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 ho. 87 was a crazy birth year. I wonder why. Yeah, Saggies can be good with Capricorns. I'm a Sag. And yeah, my soulmate, the one that is in spirit now, was a Capricorn. And that's since they're usually your mates, your ones that are near you in the charts, ones that are closer to you, you'll understand each other. Okay, you know, so if you're born in a similar time of the year, quite often you'll understand each other better. I don't look like anyone in my family. Well, you sure are cute, Aaron. I gotta say that. You really are. Libras are artsy. That's true. They like art. They like fairness. I get along with Libras really well. And they're known as airheads. They can be very airheaded, but really usually they're thinking. It's because they're thinking about something else, not what you want them to think about. They're having deep thoughts about something else. Yeah, lucid does not look her age either. They're, you can hold your age pretty well depending on your attitude. And then some of us are just vampires, and that's what lucid. No, I'm kidding. Lucid is not a vampire. I don't know. Maybe she is. Are you lucid? No, you're not. Yeah, Capricorns are very solid people usually. But they can also sometimes be poops. I mean, sometimes they can be just a little bit too staid, just a little bit too, it just depends. But they can also be just randy goats, just wild goats, you know what I'm saying? They can get stuffy if you don't watch out. They can be a little stuffy, but then they get just like randy goats. They're very, very, they can become very sexual. Thinking about what you're trying to say, not what you are saying. You can trust a thief more than a liar. Well, that's what my mother always said, that a liar is worse than a thief, because a thief can steal your possessions, but a liar can steal your good name. Yeah, I hope not, Lucid. That would sure suck, wouldn't it? Oh, literally. Well, that would suck. Being a vampire, that would suck. Uh, like a rock. There you go. Yeah. Liars, thieves, and cheats are all equal. Yes. Oh, see, she's liking this Capricorn talk because she's a Capricorn. Yeah. She's like those dogs I talk about. They rat themselves out. Yes. Rat themselves out. Yep. Capricorn girlfriend can be a nymphomaniac or kind of a stick in the mud sometimes. Very hidebound, some of them. Or a complete nutcase in bed. If I can't trust someone, I have news for them. Me too. It's like I keep them kind of far away. Scorpio's not the bad apple of the zodiac. Actually, Scorpio is the only sign of the zodiac that can go from being the scorpion to the eagle. It's the sign that goes through the phoenix process. So it's not really the bad apple. It's just, I think, in our society, it becomes that often because of the way that it's encouraged to be. But if it makes it through the phoenix process to be the eagle, it is actually a very, very good apple. It's just one of those signs that can go either way, and so far, either way. That's all. And that's why people are afraid of them. Because if they go bad, they go very, very bad. Very, very bad. And they don't quit. If they are mad at you, it is not okay. Let's put it this way. with a Scorpio, if they get angry with you and they want to destroy you, but yet they will want to destroy you. They will destroy you if they can. They will get this impulse and they will try to destroy you. And when that happens, it's very hard to fight back. One of the things about them is they don't give up. It's not enough for you to, it's not enough if you let them win. If you let them win, that doesn't stop them. They want you to lose horribly forever. If they're running the Scorpio side of that. So I really don't like the fact that we're using Scorpio as the symbolism for that sign. We should be encouraging people to be the eagle. Yeah. Talking about all the Scorpios you ever got close to. Yeah. Unfortunately. Yep. If they're running the Scorpio program, not the Eagle program, once they start knifing you, they don't stop knifing you. And then, and it won't stop. You can't, it's very hard to convince them to be any other way now. They won't stop. It's bad. So that's why some people are afraid of them. And the thing is, though, that I have this Sagittarius and the Sagittarius and Scorpios. I can speak to that tonight because I don't need notes for this. My ex was a Scorpio. And a lot of my exes were Scorpios, unfortunately. I've known a lot of Scorpios because we're attracted to each other. Sagittarius and Scorpios are attracted to each other because we each have something the other one feels we lack. And the thing that a Scorpio feels that they lack, it's very hard for a Scorpio, harder for a Scorpio to be a public speaker. They obsess over it, and they tend to get even, I have not known one yet that doesn't actually get snarly and nasty before they do a public performance. If they have to go on in public, they get nasty. Because they're not comfortable with it, and they have to have notes, and they have to practice it 40 times. Whereas Saggies can just say, oh, okay, I'll wing it. And we'll go out there and just wing it, like I do here on live stream all the time. And we're okay with that. You know, oh, I lost my notes. Oh, that's okay. I'll fake it. I'll be fine. Scorpio would be like, ah, you know, it's like, and we're just like, we'll figure it out. We'll get there. And the other thing is too, is in the opposite direction, what a Sag doesn't usually have is stick-to-itiveness. They won't bang away at the same thing forever until they get their way. And a Scorpio will. If a Scorpio wants something, they're going to get that thing. They're going to find some way to get that thing. It doesn't matter what they have to do. They're going to find some way to get it. If they want a person, I mean, my ex chased me for years. If they want a person, they'll bang away at it for years. They'll keep at it and keep at it and keep at it. If they want a job, they'll keep at it. They'll keep at it. Whatever it is they want, they won't drop it. They won't drop it ever. And if they're upset with you, they won't drop it. If they get a certain shade of upset, they will never drop it. They will never forget ever. And that's why some people are afraid of them. On the other hand, if they love you, nothing's too good for you. They will pull out all the stops to do everything they can to please you. Very interesting sign to live with. Intermittent fasting. I tried that. I didn't like it. It didn't work very well. Keeping it raw, the best way. Saggies don't like being too polished. They just be themselves. Yeah. Pretty much. I am a Scorpio, so Ben is a Scorpio, yeah. Well, see, that's something you got to watch out for. That's also why you're so secretive. Scorpios tend to be secretive. So, well, you can phoenix and become the eagle and become, you know, an entirely different being if you want to, if that's what you want. My bestie is an Aries. Oh, Aries are interesting. They want everything now. My mother was a triple Aries. They want everything 5 weeks ago. Intermittent fasting, you know what? I tried it. It just didn't do anything for me. I couldn't, just didn't do anything. Oh, well. Bombarded from both mom and daughter, 2 Scorpios. Oh, my goodness. Pisces is the same way. Pisces can be wishy-washy, unfortunately, because they don't want to hurt anybody. Pisces and Cancers, they don't like hurting people. And they don't like it. They do it, though, without meaning, but they don't like it. It bothers them, particularly Cancers. My dad was a Pisces. He hurt people a lot, although he didn't mean it. And they have a tendency to be undecided about a lot of things. Tried to be a hermit, but you just got too lonely. Too much of a people person, yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. She said no more of that. Something's going on here. Well, until she gives up the crazy, I would say so. Right. Ken, yeah. You don't need that. Banging outside. Broken Aries. What? You are patient. What's your rising and moon sign? That'll give you an idea of why you're patient. I'm Sag Light. I'm 1/3 less frivolous than most Sages. Than your normal Sag. You know why? Because I have Capricorn conjunct my Sun 1 degree. So I have a great deal of Capricorn in my makeup too. Which is why I fit so well with my Capricorn lover, who I miss a lot, even though he visits. But you probably have another part of your chart that lets you be patient. Because your standard Aries, they want it all now. They're in the beginning of the zodiac and they think it should stay that way. You know some Cancers who are Cancer? Yeah, I hate to say it. Yeah, I hate to say. So the negative side of Cancer can be like that. Oh, Aries is the first day when I finally make up my mind to do something. That's an Aries. Yep. Just get out of the way, everybody. I'm a woman on fire, right? Girl on fire. Okay. I said about Ophiuchus. That's Serpentarius, also called Serpentarius, for those who don't want to sound like you're cursing at people. Ophiuchus always sounds like you're cursing. It's like, you Ophiuchus. You or Ophiuchus. And people say it differently. They're in between Scorpio and Sag, and they're healers. We'll go more into that. It's a weird sign. Not everybody agrees that should be even a sign. Not everybody agrees on that. astrology, but they have said that this is the new agey thing, that now Ophiuchus has returned since we're heading out on the other end of the wobble of the procession. Anyway, I would be an Ophiuchus if we're going by that, which may be right. I don't know. I want to scream sometimes. Love them both to death, but you want to scream because you're two Scorpios. You're stuck between two Scorpios. Ah! Yeah. What are you, Jarvis? Or, I mean, Chris, I'm sorry. Cookie, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you Jarvis. I know you don't like that. What sign are you? Are you a Scorpio? Yeah, bad timing. Gee, I decided I don't want to be a hermit. Oop, too late. You got your wish. Everybody is. Sag Light sounds. I know. I know. That's what I think is so funny about it. It's like I'm actually less frivolous. Sages have a tendency to be kind of frivolous. They have a tendency to trust to luck. They have a tendency to scatter a lot. Just the opposite of Scorpio. And we really love the fact that Scorpio can go after something and get it and just stick to it. Because all a Sag wants to do is we hit a few, we scatter our arrows, so to speak. We'll like, nah, go do something else. We'll give up too easy a lot of times, and just say, well, I guess I'm not supposed to do that. I can do this. Why? Because we can do anything. Sages just are very good at picking up how to do stuff. They're like they just know they've got the ability to somehow survive whatever. I can do that. It's sad. And here's another thing about a Sag too, is if you don't like me, well, it's got to be something about you. It's your fault, man. I'm cool. I'm great. I don't understand. Why wouldn't you like me? Sages don't generally understand why you wouldn't like them. Really difficult. It's like, but I'm so cool. How could you not like me? It's so weird. Must be something about you. Yeah, physical. Well, it's actually a special kind of hate. I am told that is actually, what do they call it? Yeah, it's a kind of a hate. Resentment, in fact. What I have heard is that it is actually resentment. Oh, Fucus! Oh, you're right. It does sound like a sneeze. Oh, Ducus and Ophiuchus. Aha. Yeah, see, I'm supposedly that too. Virgos, I get along with them, but only because I have that Capricorn conjunct. That's what I said. I'm a Virgos. Oh my goodness, there's a reason why it's the sign of the Virgin, guys. They can be very set. They can get very set ideas and be kind of, well, they're Earth. I mean, very Earth. But they can be very set in their ways. They can become very hidebound if you're not careful. They like to have things a certain way. They can be kind of OCD. And it's nice because, in a home, they're gonna probably have a nice home because they're gonna be picky about it. But they are picky, and they're which is great in some professions. That kind of pickiness is a good thing, but in others it's not. I mean, it depends on what you're doing with your life. So the sort of free-flowing Sagittarius, Sagittarius type thing, that's no life for a Virgo. And they can be friends, but boy, will they have a different lifestyle. And, if they can make if they can make an effort to try and understand each other, but otherwise they can drive each other crazy too, because Sages are just so free-flowing. They're just so trusting to luck and everything, and Virgos are just not that way. So, well, astrology's all through the Bible. I hate to tell you this. So you can be Christian. I know they try to say astrology, and it's like, no, it's all through the Bible. I'm sorry, dude. People have checked this out. It's absolutely true. I've looked at it. Even the throne rests on the 4 cardinal signs of the zodiac. People don't recognize it because instead of a Scorpio, one of them's an eagle. They very much knew about astrology. They very much used it. And if you don't believe they had a mysticism, then what the heck is the Kabbalah? Yes, they had mysticism. Sure they did. If they try to say mystery religions, it's like, behold, I show you a mystery. Who said that? Yeah, I was a bad kid in Sunday school. Boy, I learned to shut up. I asked all the wrong questions, made all the wrong statements, and drew all the wrong conclusions, according to them. Although I think I was right. The more I know about it, the more I find out I was probably right. Fish lips in a good way. Pisces have fish lips. I don't know. You could be an alien. You could be an alien if. Are you Libra? Well, I guess it sounds sexier than being an airhead. You're a machine. No, yeah, there are some astrologers that swear they're all aliens. But they like fair. And I get along with Libras because we both want the same thing. We want it to be fair. We want, they're good to have in like a court or something where you need to be able to judge fairness. Yeah, that would be a Libra, and a Sag would be sitting there going, well, on the one hand this, on the other hand that. Yeah. And they'd be like, oh, okay. Moondog Craft Brew Old Maid. Oh, sounds good. Okay. Clearly what? Oh, got a Gemini who gave birth to an Aquarius, and a well-worn Cancer and Capricorn living under one roof. A well-worn Cancer? Can I get a blessing and an amen? Amen, sister. Ah! Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. Well, that's because you are open-minded. Venus can be. All of them are good and bad. Come on, they're all good and bad, really. Depending, it's all just depends. I know some Libras, but I know a lot of them in the virtual world because they're machines and they like it. They like virtual. Oh, you asked about the Magic Zoo bat and got booted. The Magic Zoo boat, I think he mentioned that before, the Magic Zoo boat. Yeah. I'm going to lean back. This is funny. Okay, just to warn you guys, we've only got 4 hours of this. Then I'll have to stop. But we're already up to 2 hours and 45 minutes. Oh, that's funny. No wonder people are dropping out. Yeah, the Magic Zoo boat. I bet you they loved that one. Parents said, stop asking so many questions. Yeah. It's bad asking questions. It's not good. Boy, Ben would be in trouble, wouldn't he? That's funny. That's really funny. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Little grandson is a well-worn cancer? Wow. And he knows his past. That can happen. So he's a little master in a child's body. Wow. "5 years of comic books you drew when you were young saying was from Satan because they were science fiction." Boy, I'm sorry. I have a thing about religious people these days, although I used to be one. Maybe because I used to be one. I really am sorry. But I do understand the mindset. And I will say that they cause a lot of trouble. And really totally drive me crazy sometimes, the very religious people. And you know what? The more religious my mom became, she was falling into Alzheimer's. I don't know. There is a certain shade of religious when you're getting sick. You're starting to get sick in the head. You're starting to get out of reality. You're starting to, I'm sorry. It's just, they go too far with it. They go so far that it doesn't even go along with their own book, you know. They go even beyond that. It's like they're looking for something to latch onto that would make things even worse, even more locked down. Yeah. I'm pretty sure a lot of us did, Denali. You know what? Almost pumpkin time. Yeah, it's getting there. Well, we've been at it for 2 hours and 45 minutes. I'm just resting my back. I can go a little while if you want. If you want to keep going. I'm not falling asleep. I'm just resting my back. I told you I have some back issues. Yeah. Parents were the Jehovah's Witness. Oh, geez. Yeah, they're very hard. He says things, and I know he was born with past life limitations. Interesting. You know, though, there's a thing about masters. They come in with a lot of limitations, a lot of times. Because it's like this place is kind of like, oh, Etri, you going to sleep? Sweet dreams to you, sweetheart. Meditate, blessings and hugs and everything. Yeah, you go meditate, sweetheart. And have wonderful dreams, I hope. Oh my goodness, Aaron. Yeah, you know, that's what happens. They come in very limited because it's like a magic trick, you know? It's like the more, uh, we're the masters of limitation. It's how much limitation can you beat here? This is a place of heavy limitation. And usually here, we're beating limitations, is what we're doing here. So you can bear that in mind, that that's part of our game here, is we are overcoming limitations. Linda going to, I understand we are getting pretty late. So if you need to sleep, please know that I'm hoping you have the best dreams. Felt she couldn't leave the cult. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, geez. I've heard so many things about Jehovah's Witnesses. I'm sorry. It is a cult. But I agree with this, Aaron. Yep. Let me tell you, my information, every single religion, every one of them has been corrupted because it's here. It gets corrupted once, no matter how good it started out, no matter how wonderful the idea might have been at first, or how divinely inspired, it gets corrupted as it goes on here. So, oh yeah, born Catholic. My cult's bigger than your cult. My cult's bigger than yours. You know what I tell them when they come to my door? They say, do you know if you're going to heaven when you die? I said, sure, I died. And I went to heaven. Do you want me to tell you all about it? They don't like it, though. I did die, and I went to a really nice place. I wasn't perfect, but I went to a great place anyway. So, it's like they really don't like it. Hey, Paranormal One Eyes, hi! How are you doing? Wow, I haven't seen you in here before. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, the problem is, religion is a belief. People tried to tell me that Christianity was the religion in the Garden of Eden, and I'm like, what? They didn't have a religion in the Garden of Eden. Religion is a belief. Back then, they talked to God directly, supposedly, in the story anyway. Therefore, there was no religion. There was no need. Ah, Denali Princess. Have you found Jesus? Oh my gosh, is Jesus missing? Oh, cool. Well, I'm glad you did this time, Paranormal White. I'm trying to remember what your actual name is. I used to know. It's been so long since I talked to you that I forgot. Yeah, you know what? I had a friend who would put on, he had a goat skin. He had goat skin that he would put on, and he'd answer in the goat skin, carrying his staff. And Yes? What do you want? That's what he said. And usually they just would run away. And Catholicism is such a pagan religion. It seriously is. It's so obvious that all the angels and saints and everything are gods. They're even syncretized with gods. Wow. You know, I don't want to put down other people's religion, but Catholicism was not the good guys in the beginning. I mean, they're the ones that came up with every single torture device. All of those medieval torture devices were for heretics. And a heretic was just somebody who disagreed, you know? So, yeah, very scary. They weren't really the good guys. And now I'm not saying that the people aren't, because the people who really believe in what they believe in, who believe, in the version of Jesus that is the good, the you know how can I say this? It depends on what version they believe. Yeah, well, they get a lot of that from Greco-Roman art. Yeah. And they're also the most ornate, one of the most ornate ones, other than the Hindi religions, which got very ornate. It would be nice to have a beach. It really would during COVID, wouldn't it? Yeah. The idols, yeah. Amazing, isn't it? How many idols they have, and it's funny because I had a friend, and her place was just covered with all kinds of items of various religious meanings, and it was like a giant Jenga game. Everything was balanced very precariously and everything. You had to be careful because if you walked, it was an older place, and a board would move and something would fall, and it was very embarrassing. And she seemed to enjoy that. It was very strange. But she said, well, a church is ornate, so her home had to be ornate. So she was very obsessed with religion. Ah, you're a misfit, another misfit, are you? I think most of us did. I'm pretty sure my parents frequently asked themselves if they brought home the right kid from the hospital. Yeah, you're in paradise with your dogs. Well, you know what? Isn't it funny that some of the best times we have are actually with our pets. Some of the happiest, most serene times. It's with our pets, not with people. It's funny. Yeah. Yeah, I've noticed that too. I would sit with my cat on my lap and be happy. The cat would purr. I would pet the cat. Everybody was happy. We were happy. We would sit there happily, whatever, listening. Maybe I would be sitting in front of and talking to people on the computer. Maybe I would be watching something, and we would be happy together. It's kind of funny. The dog, too, when I had a dog, it's the same way. Very interesting. Oh, my whole family is nuts. Mine, too. Mine was nuts. Uh, Oh, yeah. Yep. My dog is my soulmate. Sure feels that way sometimes. Yeah. I got to tell you, I had plenty of times when I was glad that I had a kitty cat to hug because humans were so cold and they think cats are aloof. And honestly, she could tell. And there was another cat in my life too, called him Slick because his fur was so slippery. But if you were sad, he would come up and try and cheer you up. He was very, very sensitive to that. Oh, if my kids would have been as good as the fur babies. The real babies were only as good as the fur babies. This, let's see. Ah, so you think you were born to the next best family on the list? Well, they don't have quite so many expectations of us, I think. Animals are kind of easy because, oh, Streamlink, yeah, there you go. Sorry, guys, please do ask if I forget. Here's the Streamlink. Yeah, ignorance is bliss. That's right. You don't have to have the same path. There are different paths to enlightenment, and you might take a rather circuitous, is it circuitous path? You might take quite a circuitous path. And whoever was asking, the StreamYard link is the way in to be backstage. You click the link and you come backstage. Very, very easy. Spirituality and religion are two. Yeah, true. I'm really way more spiritual than I am religious. Way more. Okay. And here comes Ken. I'm
shit.
really way more spiritual
Right.
than I am.
I'll just turn off
way more.
YouTube.
Okay.
Hello.
We're echoing. Hi there. Okay.
Hey, everyone, you can see me?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
You
Hi.
cannot hold your head though. You need to move it up just a bit.
This camera is a bit wobbly. It's good quality, but it just won't bloody.
There we go. Well, we're getting there.
Here I am. Hello. G'day, everyone. Sorry. Let's move it around everywhere, this crazy thing.
Wobbly. I know my camera's kind of wobbly too. I have to play
It's
with
on
it a little bit to get it to do the right thing.
It's on this bubble type thing, and it just won't sit straight. Oh, well, that'll do.
Okay, you got it.
Yeah, you're talking about Colts before. I thought, oh god, I've got to talk about that.
Bye,
'Cause,
Ben. Night. Sweet dreams.
oh, good night. Oh, someone else was going. Oh, you mean?
Ben, yeah, Ben is going to sleep.
Oh, good night, Ben. Pleasant dreams. It's only 6:44 p.m. Daylight savings here.
It's now 2:43 a.m. here.
Wow. Yeah, we've just got daylight savings, so it gets dark about 8:30ish. You know, so we got big days now. Got summer. Summer's come early. Beautiful day. Went to the beach with the dogs. met some people from Melbourne. They'd been dying to come down here because they've got family here and they haven't been able to come down for 5-6 months. And they were fishing on the beach going, this is great, you know. And I'm going, yeah. And it's so good. You don't have to wear a mask at the beach. And they're going, and yeah, our state premier's so great letting all these restrictions down now. But we mustn't forget about the 540 people that committed suicide in the 9 months. And then the guy goes, oh, no, but he has been doing so good, you know, keeping the you know. And I thought, okay, I'll better stop talking because, you know, it's like talking to a Biden person. And I'm a Trump person. When you talk about Dan Andrews here in my state, he's like either hated or loved, and it's like causing so many divisions, just like in America with, you know, the election and all that. I mean, what a rig.
Trump and Biden.
God, has people got short memories in America? Like, don't they remember all the crap that was just coming out before all this election, like the Biden laptop? And then there was this CEO, he come out with these 3 phones. I don't know anything about what happened with that, but he had all the calls he made to Hunter Biden since 2015, right up until 2018, and he had 3 phones where he kept everything, go to the FBI, and it was meant to be big news the next day, and then I've heard nothing about it. This was like a week and a half ago. Anyone know about that? The 3 phones, you know.
No, I didn't even know about it.
This was a guy who did all the deals for him, you know, with China and Ukraine. And, you know, this guy brought the phones in saying he feared for his family and his own life. That's why he's come forward with it. This was like 3 days, 4 days, maybe even 5 days before the election. It was like, oh, well, this is big news. And then nothing about it, nothing. You know, I don't know.
There's so many things like that.
Yeah, that one really got to me because I was all anxious about it, and then no one had any comment on it the next day, and it was meant to be released in a few days, like days before the election, and it's like, what happened there, you know? And it's like just so ridiculous, the mathematics, like what, 100% of a state goes for Biden? I mean, that just doesn't happen. I mean, with anyone.
No, it doesn't happen.
There's going to be someone in that state that thinks Biden's, you know, a perv and, you know, a deviant. I mean, what? And now, Bill Gates is wrapped. I mean, he's got it all wrapped up now, you know, with our country. China deals. Oh, God, they're going on. They just found out our premier made all these deals in 2017. All these deals with China without telling the Prime Minister or any other states, you know, what he was doing. He set up all this by 2018. He made all these deals, and they're going, oh, can you send us information about the deals you're proposing to make with China? And goes, oh, no, I've made them. Here they are. Yeah, too late, cunt. Sorry, pricks. Yeah, we made them, and yeah, me and China we're going full on with this road and belt thing that Trump never wanted. I wonder why. Yeah, and so the lockdown, the whole time that's been going on. I mean, 2 years ago, we paid China to make these trains apparently for us. You know, can't use our own people here. We have to use Chinese. Yeah, and we're still waiting for these trains. They've been paid for them, and no one even knew that trains were coming from China. But here we go. Super trains coming in sometime soon. Astro Boy's going to deliver it, I guess, from...
Okay, Elaine. Elaine is saying this is too far into conspiracy for her.
Okay, let's change the subject. Yep.
I do.
We'll go back to...
It can actually kind of hurt your brain after a while.
Yeah.
it's so
Pretty
deep
good,
that you
Mike.
just can't get to the bottom of it anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, you did a remote viewing. You want to come in, Denali? Okay, because there's the there it is.
Yeah.
You hit that and you can come right in. Ken, they want to hear about the cult.
Yeah. I digress. Sorry, I was like Richie from
When
Boston.
did you know you were in a cult?
Well, my dad grew up in the Freemasons right up until about 65 it was. He left the Masons and joined the Jehovah's Witnesses, which, was founded
He
by
left the Masons and joined the Jehovah's Witnesses.
yeah, my mum was a Catholic. She
Wow.
she left the Catholic Church for the Jehovah's Witnesses at the same time my dad left the Masons and Church of England. And my grandparents, both sides, weren't
Oh
happy.
my goodness.
And then we weren't allowed to have birthdays in 1966. No more birthdays, no more Easter, nothing to do with celebration whatsoever of a person. You can't celebrate the life of someone who's lived for another year. That's terrible. You're putting someone on a pedestal. So when I was a kid in, like, say, the 66, it was sort of coming into being where I suddenly was going to schools where I wasn't allowed to salute the flag. And I went to 8 different primary schools. Every school I went to, I wasn't allowed to salute the flag. So I used to get beaten up, oh, you think you're better than us, do you? You don't salute the flag, And I even went to schools
Gotcha.
where the headmaster used to tell the kids to beat me up. I used to get beaten up at the headmaster's permission because I was a Jehovah's Witness. So I went to all these schools
So
in
it was
rural
okay to beat on you because you were a Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah. I went to all these
That's
rural
lovely.
schools, and half the kids at the school were, Aboriginal kids, and the other half were, European. And they're all bashing my head in every school I went to because I was in a cult, which I didn't, know I was because I was so young. But as the years went on, I learnt to fight, and that didn't sort of keep happening. But I sort of woke up. It was like the 80s, in 1968, they told us all the world was going to end in 1975. That was it. Armageddon's coming. Everyone stopped buying houses, stopped businesses, live in tents and shit. People were selling their farms and everything back in the late 60s because Armageddon was coming in 75. And, all these people just lost everything because they were living in cars thinking Armageddon's coming, so we'll just keep door knocking and, it'll be grouse.
There's so many end of the world scenarios.
And then 75 come. When 75 come, I knew, it's not happening, we had a total eclipse here, and all these Jehovah's Witnesses I knew were too scared to go out that house that day in 1975.
Oh,
3-minute total eclipse because they thought it was Armageddon. And me and me mates went up to the Mount Dandenongs that overlooks all of Melbourne. And 3 minutes darkness, all the city lights went on. You could hear dogs barking all throughout the city up on this mountain. It was beautiful. I filmed it all on Super 8.
No, good for you.
I had a
I was
mate.
out in it too.
Yeah,
I was out in it too. I didn't listen to that crap.
Mm.
You know what? It's like this year they were trying to pull out all of the doomsday.
Oh, every time I hear it,
all of it was all recycled crap. All of it.
Oh, it's going to be Planet X, Subaru, Oh, God, every year, every decade we get this doomsday thing, ever since
right. And it just this year it was every kind of doomsday they could pull out, right?
Yeah, it was rocks from space, it was coronavirus, it was
It was a killer virus, a killer comet, a killer a murder hornets, everything. Gee.
And then they send out the drones, like.
And then they send out the drones, and then we got it's just,
Right.
and then we got the election back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Okay, Denali wanted to share what they got on the election crap, is what he called it, and I agree. Worked on it all weekend and finally asked the correct questions, and it sounds like the question I finally asked Denali too, and I got pretty much the same thing. Okay, Biden wins, dies after the Electoral College meets in December, and the VP becomes president, and that's as far as you got. My feelings on that is they've been planning that. Already got there, already mentioned it on my channel. Same thing, pretty much the same thing.
I would have been surprised if
They basically, what's going to happen is they had already planned on killing him or getting him out of the way in some way, shape, or form. They're already calling it the Harris administration, which means they're going to get him out of the way somehow, probably through death. I don't know if he knows that, but if he does know that, or are they just going to move him to some tropical resort somewhere and pay him? I don't know, but it looks like no, they're going to probably try to kill him.
brain aneurysm would be good, like
Because it's
they
cheaper.
can do that easy.
And also, there's a lot more press, and then the press will hide all of the valuable information, and it'll be on the front page. And that's what they use presidents for, is to tie up the front pages of magazines and newspapers and news and everything, so that the underhanded stuff that we need to know about and the stuff that is actually happening in the world that matters is completely submerged under all of the gook about the scandal. Every time they put one on, they want to scandalize there is a plan. I'm sure of it. I'm quite sure. Scandalize every president. Every single president has to have a scandal. Or
It's the same in Australia. Here it's just like you can't get an answer to anything, no matter how deep it goes. They just seem to get, honourable, discharged from any inquiries. It's like such corruption, and I see the exact same pattern in America. It's like nothing.
Farmer wants to know,
they just won't let them come out.
She's been waiting to hear.
Yeah.
How did you realize you were in a cult, and how old were you? Did you admit it to anyone? How long before you left?
Yeah.
How did you leave? What happened when you left?
Excellent questions. I like all them because that's easy. Right. What was the first one? I was 29 when I left the cult back in 1982. Then I went back into the cult because I had friends in there I was worried about, and I only went in for their sake. And then I got brainwashed again within a year of being in there. And, but like half brainwashed. Then in 1984, this movie came out called 1984 by George Orwell. And then I bought the book, I read the book, then I saw the film, and it totally made me realise I was in a cult, but I still stayed in there another 3 years. 89 I left, yeah. And why I left was because of all the injustice I was seeing. I actually got baptised into the religion, and then a year later I left. It was like I had to see all the horrors of what, it was all about,
So that's what got you to leave, is seeing what it was really all about.
It was like, friends of mine, this young friend, she'd been molested when she was young, and I told her brother and her mother, and then I went to the elders, the Jehovah's Witness elders, who think they're like a court, and they swept it totally on the carpet. It was like this husband, wife, people have been molesting her and her brother for years, and yeah, when I tried to expose it and get her justice, oh no, it was like,
Oh my gosh. So
you
basically
cannot
they
do that.
were doing the child molesting thing, and
Oh, you
that
know,
was another.
and it's happened to plenty of my friends who are out now, and every one of them got issues, they either go to drugs or get very dysfunctional, and
I
it's sad
bet.
because they don't trust
Wow.
anything anymore. And like, I've got a best friend coming soon, and yeah, the stuff that happened to him, and I went crazy back then when they were, you know, this guy tried to molest him, and then they had 30 people in like a court case where they made him look like a total liar, and protect the pedophile, and and I was the troublemaker in there. I couldn't stand by and watch shit happen, and they used to get real worried when I was going to get involved in shit. When I left, I of course had to get as many people out as I could, and I become one of the most hated people in Australia in the Jehovah's Witness cult. Me and like 5 others, and like the Jehovah's Witness
So
had
you were like a freedom fighter getting people out
yeah,
of the.
they
out of
had
the
a hate list of all the worst apostates in the world, and I made number 50 out of that 100. I was so proud. I was like, wow. And there were so many other ex-witnesses doing a lot more than I was, but yeah. But I had to back off in the end because I ended up getting into a lot of trouble. The cult seems to work with the cops and with the government, and they seem to be protected because it's like they're under some Mason law. And then I had cops coming,
Well,
and
I know that the Masons have a good old boy thing going. I know that for sure.
yeah, I got to see all that happen, and I had death threats and cops coming to me place threatening to shoot me dogs and things like that, and they did end up shooting 2 of me dogs and all that because they believed everything I said about the cult. They tried to make out to the cops that I was, and
Oh Lord.
10 years I went through absolute hell before I got exonerated because the people who were accusing me actually ended up admitting they were told to lie and all this. Oh, it's a long story, but thing was, in the end, the truth come out, and they all look like idiots now, and none of them will ever apologize. I went through absolute hell.
Yeah, it's funny. They'll make a great big deal about it. It'll be a big stink when it's happening, and then when it comes time to apologize, that's always very weak and kind of in the background.
Yeah. Liars don't
Yeah,
lie.
they won't write it very publicly. They'll wrong it though.
What doesn't kill you makes it stronger, and it has.
Your opinion, Denali Princess wants to know your opinion on the difference between intense religion and cult. Or is there a difference?
Against which religion?
What is your opinion on the difference between intense religion and a cult? Or is there a difference at all?
When I left the cult, I did a church search, right? I went to 30 different churches. I just wanted to, research. And a lot of the Pentecostal ones I went to, I was going, oh my God, it's very similar. Ones who followed Benny Hinn and Kenneth Copeland type teachings and all that. And I ended up splitting a church in half, actually. I went in there, all good intentions.
Church in half.
I ended up showing
the church splitter.
Yeah, I had this tape from
splitter.
Canada, the Toronto Blessing, and I was showing them what Kenneth Copeland and all these others were like. Madmen possessed by demons, and I started putting the tapes throughout the church, and I actually split the whole church in half. I became very hated by me mate who was a pastor of the church I'd worked for, with for years, and he won't even talk to me now because, and I told him all about the cult I'd just been in there, like he saw me go through that for 10 years, and then when I got out, I was seeing the same patterns in that church, so I can't shut up. I'm a troublemaker. I never meant to be.
Yeah, a lot of
But
us
if
are.
something wrong, you got to say it.
And that's why we're hanging together, as we are troublemakers.
I went to another church where it was ran by Amway. It was, they had books out there. Jesus was a double diamond too, and all this thing. And I knew all about the pyramidal sales because that's exactly how witnesses work.
Wow.
And I ended up nearly assaulting this pastor in the church.
I have to ask.
Come down from Sydney.
Religion.
What's that?
Truth is asking about the flying spaghetti religion and says it's a thing, small but real. You know what that is?
Oh, yeah, that's an atheist term, the spaghetti monster in the sky. God you believe in, the little peekaboo God, I've got mates.
Basically it's a slang sort of thing.
Yeah. I've got mates. I got out of the witnesses, and we have, we talk quite often on Skype and that.
Yeah, when I'm in an
big
mood, I call them
about atheism and Christianity, but we don't. We're over arguing about it. We just agree to disagree, and but the thing with true faith and that is, you see, in my case, I do believe I found Jesus when because I prayed to him, and when my best friend died and said, "Who the hell are you?" I swore my head off. I got very angry at God. I've been in this cult for so long, because at that stage I wasn't saying anything bad about the cult before my friend died, and then a year later it was like I discovered all this stuff, and I think my church is the beach, and I still don't go to churches, I can't conform I can't conform to any movement, clubs, my face.
I know what you mean. I'm a shaman.
Yeah.
I'm a shaman. That's it. It's not a religion really, more of a practice, but it might as well be a religion.
Yeah.
And really, I can with nature and talk to spirits and believe that there is consciousness in everything. Yeah. So,
but like I had a lot of demon experiences growing up in there too, along with so many others. It was like, the sleep paralysis. I'd seen that in every second person I knew in there. It was weird. And it is like there is this spiritual powers that have I'm the demon of bloody Mormonism. I'm the demon of J-Dubs, Catholicism. It's like they have these Prince of Persias all over these groups, But, God's simple. It's love your neighbor as you should love yourself. Do the right thing,
right. Bomber wants to know, how did your parents respond to you leaving?
Shocking, terrible.
Horrible.
They thought I was always going to come back, and then I remember going there one day, and my mum, was saying, "Oh, I know you're just going through a stage and that,
Going through a stage."
They were fine when I didn't have any belief. I was just doing my own thing for a year or two, and partying on, and they thought it's just, like the Mormons, how they let the young go out and let the hair down. They thought it was something like that, and then they come back, or the Amish do that, one of them groups. But, I said to Mum, no, I'll never be coming back, my dad kept all their ancient teachings, and he said, show me one example where Jehovah's Witnesses have had a false prophecy, and I got him to bring out all these old books, and I showed him about 20 false prophecies that never come to be, from books.
I just red-pilled one of my Christian friends, and her head exploded.
Yeah, I was doing that to me parents. They couldn't believe that I was, and then they
Because it's stuff that she really was wondering about. She was an atheist, and then she took up Christianity, and then as she's reading through it and trying to figure it out, and people are telling her different things, and she's like, but I always wonder, and I said, well, I said, if I told you, it'd probably make you mad. She says, no, tell me. First of all, if what happened when Cain slew Abel was supposed to be some kind of a punishment, but what happened to him? He got thrown out of there. Well, they were already out of the Garden of Eden. Big deal. And he went
I
to
sort of
Earth,
wondering.
found himself a wife, and founded a dynasty. Now, how is that a punishment? And
I
then it
wonder
just
if
goes on
Cain,
from there.
well, Cain may have been like the offspring of the serpent, a giant, a Nephilim, and Abel was from the Eve side, the Adam side,
Well,
and
that's really
maybe that's how we have this serpentine difference all throughout our history, where we've got these blue bloods and we got these giants and stuff that seem to have existed. And my theory is that Cain was a giant and big ginger-haired hairy man, and yeah, he went off to hang out with all the other giants in the world.
I've listened to people who have studied it for years.
I don't.
I was a minister for a
I'm just
while.
like, I like hypothetical
Um,
thinking, and yeah,
and I know people who have studied it for years, and I know people who have come out of it too, because after they studied it, they were like, oh gosh, it's like once you really finish studying it, it's like you can't really feel the same way, because some
well, you
things.
got the old books like Enoch and the Book of Gilgamesh. You got all these other things in history, but they still sort of match up. They all have a story of the flood. They all have a story of the fallen ones. Yeah, within all religions, really. I think that
There's just so many things like that, Truth. There's just so many things. And every one of them I mentioned, she said, I wondered about that. I wondered about that too. And I wondered about that too. And it's like, well, that's because it really comes from older texts, and the Hebrews already know this. The rabbis know that they got their game from older texts. They got their book from older texts. They put together. They know it, but the Christians don't know that. So they think that when I've even met the another cult was is the King Jamesites.
Oh yeah.
I think King James is the solid, honest truth that
Oh yeah.
he saw the writing on the wall and he copied it down by hand himself.
Yeah.
And it's just
I'd rather the New Testament ones who just believe in the New Testament. Well, I say to people, just read the words in red, what Jesus said, if it's all going to be too much for you, because they're the words of wisdom, the ones in red. He simplifies everything in it. It's like, this is how it is on earth and how we got it. But,
a lot of those teachings, too, really point at the fact he must have spent some time elsewhere picking that up, but then the Essenes were different too. We could go into that. I don't want this to be a class on religion, but boy, I know a lot about that. I studied that. Let me tell you, I can tell you some things about that. And it's obvious he spent some time in India and possibly Tibet.
Yeah, with
because those teachings come from there.
Because they seem to have a lot of his teachings within.
And his garment sounds like it came from there too, because the seamless garment is actually like when you wrap a garment, that one wouldn't have a seam. They're trying to say, what would that be? A garment without a seam? Well, when you just take a length of cloth and wrap it around you, it has no seam. It would be like the monks.
Yeah. Well,
It's very simple if you look at it from that viewpoint. It all kind of makes sense. He's
well, I
studying
think
around.
Jesus would have even visited the Aboriginals here in Australia, back then, like,
Obviously, the wisdom
why
was
not?
from different places. What was considered a sin to the JW that was not part of the Ten Commandments? What was considered a sin that wasn't part of the Ten Commandments?
I can tell you many. Having a blood transfusion was considered a sin. So, I've known of people who died because they weren't allowed to have blood, They let their children die from no blood transfusion. So they sacrificed thousands and thousands of children over the years, and no one ever talks about that because they worship Baal. Baal wants blood sacrifice, especially from children. And that's what the witnesses were all about. It's just the same as the Mason crap, They used to show us pictures in their books, and they'd always have the Baal statue putting a baby into the fire, and it was like, oh, that's lovely. And all these horrible Armageddon pictures of kids falling down cracks in the earth on a bike with their dog, Yeah, we got this sort of what a lovely world we're going to look forward to. But, when I left the witnesses, I realized the whole world's ran by a cult as well. It's like, wow, it's like, it's the same old story again, really, all these
Well,
wonderful.
there's a reason there's a war on humanity.
Yeah.
Is because the people who are making this war on humanity are not human. Okay? They're not human.
Oh, Bill Gates.
There's another species who really don't like us and really kind of pissed off at us, really don't like us, really want to see. Yeah, I'm not going to get into that tonight. But yeah,
that's another story.
A lot of this religion is, I think, especially the bloodier parts, were inspired by the parasites, what I call the parasites.
I do think some of them battles in the Old Testament were against absolute freakazoids, giant bloody 35-foot monsters and half human.
I've seen them.
Maybe that was what was happening then, in the land of milk and honey. And what was the place I was trying to take
I have had to fight those things in the astral.
I don't know about history's just been totally so rewritten over and over.
And they are really monsters and huge. If they were physical, they would be crushing cities with their feet.
Well, who built the big pyramid?
You wonder how they could be people. Those things existed. These things existed. And
you look at the buildings now, they had giant doorways in all these old buildings. What? For who? Who was walking through that doorway, And they're like, 20-foot high, these doorways,
Yeah.
These old buildings,
that would be the Tartarians, and that's a whole nother thing.
Back in them times, yeah.
Tartarians. I'm just about to wrap it up too because we're almost up on 4 hours. We're on 3:37.
Yeah, it's getting late over
there. Wrap this up.
Still light
nice to have you around. You make some wonderful comments, Denali Princess. We got to talk some more about it, and theology is interesting. I'm pretty knowledgeable on it. We can talk theology at some point, but yeah, I'm running out of time on this stream. They'll cut me off at 4 hours anyway.
Do that.
So,
okay, thanks for having me today. Yeah, I like talking about religion and cults and that, but yeah.
Cool. So we can do that.
Yeah.
And I'm on again tomorrow. I'm on at 10.
Yeah.
So, and I may be on a little bit earlier. I'm going to be on, now that I'm unlimited, I'll just do it whenever the urge hits and whenever I can do it. And whenever something comes up to talk about, I'll be on talking about it. So I will catch different people at different times that way that aren't able to come so late. This is pretty late. I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that I promised to be here, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be able to be here. But it's so interesting though that I would be here anyway.
Yeah. No, it's
you guys are very interesting.
Good show. Yeah, it's always good. Yeah. No, good day. I'm No, it's good. I might go live later too if I feel up to it. I'll see how I go.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that.
I haven't done one for a few weeks, so yeah.
That's good.
The
And
trolls love it. You know, they love my live streams. I get all these idiots saying, "Oh, you're going to kill millions of people with your non-mask wearing thing." Oh, good.
oh my gosh.
Millions.
I'm so ready for this mask thing to be over, and they're so ready to push it and push it and push it and push it and push it. Because here we go. Up here, it's cold and flu season coming up again.
Yeah, exactly.
And
so
they're going to try and push it again. And
the
it's
numbers
like,
will
oh,
rise because of that. Oh, no. And it's not here at the moment. It's 0 now in Australia because flu season's over, you know.
Yeah.
And over there,
And it's funny how a lot of places there was no flu season. It was all COVID, right?
well, this guy's come out with documents showing
Right.
showed no flu, you know.
Yeah, thank you. You know what? Thank you so much for you guys are so brave and so wonderful and so knowledgeable. And I'm so proud to have you here. I am so proud to have you here in my chat. I'm so proud to have you here on my channel. And I'm my heart is very full whenever you guys show up. I love you. You are all so knowledgeable and so strong.
Yeah.
You're coming from all of this stuff, all of this turmoil, and you're so strong. You've been through so much. I have too. I haven't even told you the half of it. And you're so strong. I just love you guys. I just respect you guys so much. You are such lights in this world, such lights in this world. I just wanted to say that before we end it. We're just about to end it, Ken.
Yep.
Let's go on with this another time.
Yeah. No, it's been great knowing you all these years, Dee. I'm glad I've got to sort of meet you finally after.
Right, me too.
You know,
to be able to see your face and talk to you face to face.
Yeah, I love it.
It's wonderful.
And to see a face without a mask is nice too.
Right. You know, the way I feel about masks, you don't even want to hear.
Nah, same here.
We won't get into that tonight.
This guy at the beach walked up as I'm going from the beach, and he goes, "Oh, I forgot me mask." He goes, "I forgot me mask going, mate. There's no corona down there. I just checked. It's all clear. You're perfectly safe." He goes, "Yeah, oh, cool." He was from Melbourne, so he's.
Good night, everyone. It is.
Good night.
It is the end of the stream. I've got just a few minutes left in the stream before they would shut it off on me anyway. So we made it through another night and very long night. Thank you for coming to my celebration of my live streaming unlimited party here. And it's probably going to be like this. We're going to go until we drop over, some of us, right? Some nights we'll probably just keep rambling on until the stream cuts out. But I do have to cut it now because I am tired now and I need to get some sleep. And there are other people dropping out. We're down to 8. So we've had quite an attrition rate. So it is time to call it quits. Okay. Go out and make waves because that's what we got. That's what does anything around here. Go out and make waves, dudes. I'm the ocean making waves. Time for you to go make some. And the truth is where you find it. I hope you'll always be finding some here on my channel. And I'll say something very similar to what Chris says. Kiss the one you love. You never know when the last time may be. We're in really tricky times now. It's true. Let people know you love them. Don't hold back because you'll feel better. You won't regret. Don't have any regrets. Let them know how you feel now. Because we're heading into some very very dicey times. Not bad times. We need this. We really need it. It's tricky though. I mean, anytime you're going through a necessary change, usually it does hurt. Yes, you can, Rot. Yeah, you can, Ken. No regrets, especially if you got. I've seen those tattoos. No regrets. A regurt sounds like, GERD. It's like awakenings are painful. They are. Change is painful. It's the way we are. We don't want to. We usually get it forced on us, and it has to be. And we needed this year. I'm sorry we did. It just slapped us right in the face. Wake up, you idiots. It's time. And get over it. Okay, I will see you on MeWe, maybe, and come see me on MeWe. My group is Ohio Woo Crew, and everything paranormal and mystical and whatever you put it there. I don't care. Whatever you want to put there. Don't flame each other. Don't hurt each other. I love you. So love one another, will you? Okay, I'm ending it now. Next time,